Okay. I'm gonna invite Manolo on also. Give me 1 second. Invite. Manolo, oh my God. Okay. Do that. All right. Okay. All right. So good. Share it to your feed. Mute. Parker, you're gonna have to get a nice backdrop like Kevin and I. Okay, let's see here. What am I doing here? Share, copy, paste. I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta put it. I'm gonna try to put it in the comments too. The link. See if I can do it again. Copy link. YouTube.
Before we get a gazillion people talking over each other, I do think the Kevin Palco and East Ohio arm wrestling collaborating for dog fights could be a huge potential trend in the future. That was an awesome event.
Oh, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Like joining forces like that, it ran beautifully.
I just seen a pretty cool match for East vs West 14 popped up.
What's that?
Right, who's that?
Hunter Knops and Doug Ehrlich.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I saw that drama.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
I was talking to Zach after
I wonder
during
what
the after
Doug
pools,
walks
and
around
he's
at. Hey, Drew, can you tag or post or pin that Zoom link to the top? I'm not seeing the three dots. Why am I not seeing the three dots? No, never mind. I got it. Pin message. Got it. Okay. Oh, Kev, what's the Drew talking about? Oh, it's that cocky Palco in the house. What does that mean?
I'm thinking it's because I'm wearing a wife beater. I don't know.
ah.
I don't know.
Here we go.
All right, yeah, throwing wrenches.
Okay, let's see here. Dave Show, what's up, brother?
Greetings.
How are
What's
you?
happening, Dave?
The man, the myth, the
I was
legend.
you know, last night when you said apologizing for delaying, because actually at 7 o'clock last night I was still on the road going home. But
Well, it worked out perfect then.
uh,
Kev got held up at work, so I wanted to make sure he was going to be on here. You know, it's his
I
dog fight, so
I
I
hope
wouldn't feel I didn't feel right doing it without him.
Yeah.
well, when you said held up, I hope you were speaking metaphorically there, that they aren't holding
Yes,
up
metaphorically, yes.
Yeah.
the
Yes.
station.
Thank God.
I wasn't
Thank God he's
literally.
okay. Yes. Yeah, technicality, I guess you could call it.
I mean, in some of the big cities, they probably are holding up the police stations, but I would hope not in not in mid-size Ohio.
Alex Bean, get in here, bud.
Oh, he
Bryce,
was the
get in
man of
here.
the night.
Yes, he was. Matt Speakman, he's in the chat. Get in here. Croxel, get in here. Logan, get in here. Click the link. Download
Everybody,
Zoom and just click the
get
link.
in. The
Well, Drew
more,
24
the
says
merrier.
Billy and Palco working hard on dog fights. Good job, guys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trenton Halstead, get in here. Click the link. Couldn't agree more with that Parker just said about the collaboration. Tall Paul Hutchins Jr. Howdy, y'all. What's up, Tall? Let's see here. Drew says everyone calling Palco cocky, but hey, he can walk the walk.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, Drew never heard anyone say that, honestly. Yeah, Kev. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Alex can't get on it. His kids are going crazy, apparently. Two
Bad
little ones.
stuff.
Oh, I know what that means, dude. Oh, I know what that means. That's tough. He said it's your mustache. Tom Selleck. You don't even know who Tom Selleck is, do you?
Oh, he's the best.
Burt Reynolds, Tom Selleck.
Yeah, you want to talk about best mustaches?
Hey,
Burt
don't make me
Reynolds,
shave
Tom
this beard
Selleck,
off. Hey,
John
don't
Fry.
make me shave this beard off, baby.
I remember when you had your mustache.
Man, that's hard to eat with, boy. That was
Oh.
hard to eat with. Jeez.
It's the best.
Thanks for the Gatorade, Parker.
Yes, sir.
What are you
They-
on?
they're
A
on-
park? Are you on your motorcycle? Look at this big
I am.
dog. Goodness. Get
It
over
currently has a flat tire, so it's pretty useless at the moment. But
Yeah.
and it's covered in dust with fingerprints marked "clean me." So
it.
that's where we're at with the motorcycle.
That's hilarious. Dave, I was able to catch a little bit of your Friday night podcast while I was at work. Whenever you left
Turn these like
the restaurant.
Okay. Yes.
I tried to watch it all. I wasn't able to watch it all, but
Well, and actually, as
tried
you,
to support.
I don't know if you saw my commentary, I just was having trouble on the phone, and so
Good evening,
what I
gentlemen.
actually had to do was take my computer out of the trunk, put it on the seat next to me, and I was actually seeing it on the computer, using the phone just for the the hotspot.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of weird. Yeah, until I got back to the hotel like an hour later.
Nice. Manolo, what's up, brother?
How you doing, man? How's
Let's see
everybody?
them big biceps, baby. Let's see that big bicep, baby.
Well, they're not so big anymore.
Huge. Kevin and I are sporting
They're
the
not so
tank
big anymore.
tops.
Yep.
Tank tops. Oh, I'm feeling pretty
Dude,
good.
why am I wearing a hoodie?
Yeah. What do you got? Your AC stuck on 60 or something?
No, bro. I was just doing my workout. I'm back from doing my cardio, and then
Okay.
I saw the link and I jumped in because I thought it was earlier. I thought it was like 6:45 or something. And I look at my phone. It was 7 o'clock already. I was like, oh God, I gotta hold on. So, but I can be in my tank. You want me to? I can be in my
Yeah,
tank.
there you go. Tank
top.
top
if I-
it. You gotta
if
get
me
a tank
too.
top. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Let's
Gotta get
be
in the
on
tank top.
too.
Dave, where's your tank top? Parker, tank top. Let's go.
I mean, best I can do is take my shirt off at this point.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Meat
Don't
heads.
be a sissy. Don't be a sissy.
There you go.
There it is. Boom, baby. Tank top. Ooh.
Actually, here I'll roll up my sleeves.
Go.
There we go.
Nice.
Let me get the mic out of the way.
There you go. Oh, look at them bad boys.
They're not so
3,
big anymore. They're not so
2,
big.
1.
Oh,
Ah,
man, my right is not looking bad. Not
It was
looking
looking good
bad.
the other day too, Billy.
What's that?
Said it was looking good the other day too.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
dude, that
Hey,
was
it's
a great win.
it's total pumpkin training now since
Heck yeah.
I can't do nothing with the left. It's just party arm. So I get through halfway through the workout and it's in total pain. So I said, screw it. I can only last
Yeah,
about
my
1,000
my
reps.
left
with it.
used to be my strongest arm, but now it sucks. Like I got like my brachialis tore, and then it don't work anymore.
Yeah, Billy, I would beg to say that the right arm is the party arm, but that's just me.
There you go. Scott Evans, what's up, brother? Shout out from Utah, super heavy. What's up, man? Topa Hutchinson. I better leave my little guns covered up. Shell, the only normie with sleeves on. Oh,
No, you don't.
Dave, where's your wife beater? I know you got one on.
Well, I could get one. I was going to wear one under the under my team shirt on Saturday just to keep from looking completely drenched, but I didn't. But
Alex said, "Come to hear arm wrestling, end up seeing dudes flex." That's what happens on a arm wrestling podcast. Let's go,
It's views, man.
bro.
You
I'm
get a-
telling you. Oh,
You get a bunch of guys that only train arms, and you expect
Yeah.
something other than them
yeah,
to
we ain't
flex
gonna be
on the
doing
camera.
no calf flexing or anything like that. Guarantee you. The only one that I know that can do that is Stacy James.
the
His calves are like
Stacy's got
the
some
size of my head.
calves.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
What
Yeah.
up, Logan?
What's going on?
What's
I
up?
had to
What's up?
download Zoom and stuff. Sorry, my bad.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Where's your tank top? Where's your tank top? I'm just
Hey,
trying.
I've got it on
I
right
have
now.
to take my hoodie off. You got to wear your tank top.
There you go. So
I got a
I'll put on the white wife beater if you want me to, but I don't think
yeah,
you'll
there you go.
really. But
It's up to you, Dave. You don't have to, but
Just
you're
be
more
code of conduct at this point that you have to wear a wife beater on these podcasts.
than-
we're talking about the left and right.
I'm gonna have to give me some more
Advantage
grip
my-
tank tops, baby.
Yeah, I got to get some too for the summer.
Well,
Heck
I
yeah.
thought-
Billy, hear me
What?
out. Tank top EOAW jerseys.
Ooh, like that idea.
That idea speaks to me.
I
Got to
think-
make sure we just do black so that way the sweat stains don't show up as much.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, dude, I had to peel my shirt off after I got home Saturday.
Oh,
Oh, I
Dude.
know.
Literally rolled it off my body. It was horrible.
I almost needed help.
I have a
I
country
had the AC on in the car on the way home, and that like I started getting freezing because how drenched I was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I have a country crush sleeveless I could put on. They gave Country Crush sponsored one of our events, and threw some extra shirts at us and
Cool.
some left over.
Just go
That
shirtless.
country
Come
Gage
crush
on.
said
that-
it's getting really weird in here all of a sudden. Come on, Gage. Like Gage is acting like we're the weird ones coming from that man. Come
Yeah.
on now.
We're not the one that has to wear a tank top with the sleeves on the left side.
Captain Facebook keyboard warrior.
Get in here, Gage. We want to get another
Everyone's point
Viewpoint.
of view. Everyone's.
everyone's point of view. That's why I wanted Manolo on here, because he was in the chat on the live watching and
Yeah,
helping us
I
out.
saw the entire thing since it was live, since it was just setting up and everything. I watched the entire thing.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
We appreciate it. We appreciate that. Not a whole lot of people tune in for all of it,
That's a long time.
Dude, that was what, 4.5 hours? I think
Yeah.
we ran that.
So
I
that
believe
was
you
bad.
started the first match like at 3 o'clock or something, and
It was
it
4.
ended like
It
at
was right at
7:30.
4:05.
Yeah,
we started.
4 hours. How many super matches were they?
15, I
18.
think.
15?
18.
18.
18. So if you did 18 super matches in 4 hours, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it ran
Yeah.
great.
To be honest with you, I remember for Garage Wars, we did 30 in 4 hours. Dude, Haynoski was there commentating with me, and he was throwing them on the stage. He was like, "All right, let's go. You're up." He was like hustling
I mean,
them,
but
man.
it
was
didn't
great.
it didn't look like you were in a hurry or anything. It looked fine. It looked
No, not
clean.
at all.
Just action. Like when I see an event an arm wrestling event, I want to see the action. And
Yeah.
that's what it was. The action, just action. Like we got this match, it went through the next one, introductions, and we get right to arm wrestling. That's what I want to see in an arm wrestling event. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, the commentary makes or breaks. Music makes or breaks. Downtime. All that kind of stuff. If it's downtime and then you don't have something to keep people there, oh boy, that's
Well, it
rough.
was-
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
If the kids are leaving you alone, great job on the commentary.
Yeah.
I did my best to follow you up, but you were the man.
Oh yeah, I had nothing for him. On the commentary, I can hold my
You
own.
started
Alex,
you
was
started
good.
reffing the matches behind the mic. You're like, oh,
I
looks like
can't
he has
help
to
it,
get
dude.
his elbow
Kevin,
back.
didn't I do that one time? Whenever me and Chris had the match, I'm like in the audience. I'm like, oh, you missed this, like an idiot.
It's especially remarkable when you consider one of the matches ran 20 minutes at least.
Oh, it was 31 minutes.
I think it was.
There was a
First
few
match is
matches.
31
There was a few
minutes.
matches that were really, really long. Like there's a couple of them, but
Yeah, because somebody
But
handed me
they were
20
so
bucks
good.
for
Like every match was good. And you're talking about the length of matches. Like there was a match 30 minutes long. It didn't seem that long
No.
because it was so good and so interesting. No, I was so caught up in it, that the time just passed by really quickly. I didn't notice they were long.
Well, no, and I only noticed because somebody paid me 20 bucks for the last shirt, and I was sitting, and Palco was refereeing, or no, he was on the camera. So I was sitting there holding the damn 20 bucks to give to him, and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, I said, "Well, now you're probably done with that one. You just sold the last shirt."
Yeah. All right, guys. Let me do the official introduction. Welcome everybody to the East Ohio Arm Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Billy Collins, and with us today, we got the man, Kevin Palco. What's up, Kev? We also got Parker Wise in the house. We got Dave Shell, Manolo Sanchez, Logan Bittinger, and Matthew Speakman right now. If you're watching the podcast and you want to join, just download Zoom, click the link in the chat, join us on the call. We'd love to have you. Get your viewpoint of the event Saturday. We'd love to hear from you. If you'd like, just go ahead and comment in the chat. Go ahead and like and subscribe or whatever you want to do. I'm not gonna hound you guys on that. It would help out, but it's no big deal. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here. So there's the introduction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I know the first off, we can't say enough about Alex and his commentary. Like we were just saying.
Yes.
Jeez. So good. So good. He blew me out of the water. And I'm okay at commentary, but Alex is really good at it.
I'm just
I was
thankful
watching
that
it
he
this
would
morning.
leave some stuff off to me.
I was watching
Because
it
I
this
didn't-
morning, dude, and I was just like, man, he is good. Jeez.
Yeah.
Real good. So, Kev, co-host, what did you think of the event?
But it was good overall. As you said, Billy, might have been one of the best ones yet.
Yes, sir.
I think
Yes, sir.
just for one, the venue, I mean, that's one of the best places you could probably get. It kind of felt like you were in paradise. It had the palm trees, the tiki bar, and it was also 95 degrees. So it definitely felt like we were in the Bahamas or something, but venue was spot on. Everything ran smoothly. Didn't have any issues with the refereeing, didn't have any issues with commentating or really anything. I thought it went good.
Yeah.
No
Heck yeah.
injuries.
Let's see. Mike from Columbus. I think that's who. No, that's not. Who's
I'm on the podcast.
Colliers? I can't remember who that
Andrew
is.
Wood from Andrew Wood, Austin, Texas.
Okay, Andrew. The stream was too wholesome. I skipped it. Was giving off family-friendly vibes. The only thing I'll say is text overlays on the stream go a long way. Informing viewer of puller name. Yeah, well, that is definitely one thing that would be awesome, but I didn't have an extra $1,000 to pay somebody to come do that, and we don't have that. We don't have that capability. So We'll get there sooner or later. What is that? You got to bring a laptop and you got to have your own cameras and all that stuff. We don't have any of that, do we? Shoot, all I got is what is this thing? A Chromebook.
That would probably be a question for the high five people because I think they do that at the Knuckles Up.
Right.
It's kind of a program that TV stations have. You know, it's really complicated. When I did the event in Honduras, there's just 3 guys, 2 cameras, and a laptop, and they did all that. It's a program. I don't know. I didn't ask, but it's a program, and and it's expensive. It's kind of a TV thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, every dog fights I've seen since the beginning has been a great event. Every event Billy has thrown that I've seen, it's been great. And you work with what you have, and at the end of the day, we can always do better, but at the end of the day, it was great arm wrestling, and to me, it was a great event. I loved it, each and every dog fight, and last ones was great.
Well, another reason too. This is Kevin's dogfight. He allowed me to co-host it. So the focus on a dogfight is it's Kevin. So I didn't want to overstep my place and my boundaries by trying to upstage Kevin with his post-production videos also. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I kind of felt like I possibly should have even brought back the camera farther away, you know what I mean, from the stage, so that way Kevin's post-production videos were highlighted better than the live stream. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's all right.
Based on the work I saw Kevin putting in with that tripod, I think the post-production's going to do just fine. I told him about halfway through, he was holding the tripod way up in the air over the booth. And I was like, hey, that's one heck of a riser workout. Because, I mean, he was holding this thing above his head, getting the best angle possible.
Man, that riser probably getting a little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
well, at least it was warm.
The post-production video should be out Thursday evening, I'm thinking.
Yeah, but I think that arm wrestling has grown up that, the live stream is for the hardcore fans like us, for arm wrestlers. Now the fans, the people that don't arm wrestle, that just like to watch, will always look for that post-production thing, that better video, that better thing, So it's all good. I think it's all good.
Yeah, it'll all work out.
And shout out to Kevin too. His post-production, the quality of Kevin's videos has gone way up. Man,
yeah,
that last one from Nashville was freaking awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing with like the post-production, we could do the text overlays, we could do, the score 1-0, what round it is. Beautiful. That's, to me, that's way easier to do than, I don't even know how to do that. If we were to live stream it and set all that stuff up, I don't even know.
Yeah.
So, but
well, Mr. John Scott that did it for Garage Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he gave us a deal, dude. And it was like $1,000, and he gave us a great deal because it costs a whole lot more than that to do that. It's in the $2,000 range to hire somebody to come and live stream your event with multiple cameras and all their computer work and all that stuff. It costs a lot of money. So I like the idea of doing like Kevin, I'm thankful that you allowed me to even live stream, because I asked you, remember I asked you, I said, I won't live stream if you don't want me to.
Well, that's the thing too, is I couldn't get all 18 matches. For one, it's going to be way too much for me to upload and try to put on YouTube. It's just too much data. So I had to pick and choose certain matches that I could add in. I'm not sure. I don't know how many matches I have, but I just edited the video and it's still an hour and 26 minutes. And I cut out like half of the matches. So
dang.
That's a long video to upload.
Right.
It's going to take like 8 hours to upload.
When I
put it on
upload a video an
overnight.
hour long, I just do it overnight. Just
Right,
start
that's probably
uploading
what
and
I'll
just
do.
go to sleep.
And then you go to sleep and then you wake up and it says error.
Right.
And
That's
we
happened
do
to
it
me
all over
before.
again.
I'd have been like, what the?
Yep.
I remember
Or your
that from my
internet goes out
12-year-old.
halfway through. Oh, dude.
I remember that from my 12-year-old thinking I'm cool on YouTube days. I'd upload something with my crappy Wi-Fi and then it'd say error when I woke up.
Yep.
Yeah. Matt Speakman, welcome to the podcast, brother. Thanks for joining us. I think that's pretty much. I didn't miss anybody, right? I got everybody.
That's okay.
Okay.
I think you introduced Matt initially, so
I did. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
want to be a jerk there.
It's
Okay, let's see. Aftermath Arms. The venue looked like the new Roadhouse set. I was waiting for Conor McGregor to walk out on stage and pull. But for real, great venue and live stream.
That's okay.
The gentleman from
Gallup.
the gentleman from Texas says any streaming software has it. James Metheny, Alex, amazing job on the mic. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, a micro view so you can see the crowd atmosphere while you are between matches would be very aesthetic. Yeah.
And I know everyone's giving Alex a lot of credit for the mic, but I'd like to point out that he put on one heck of a show when he was pulling as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was very entertaining. So good job on both ends for Alex.
Yeah. We're going to get to each match here. What I want to do is I want to go through each match, but I don't want to spend too much time because I don't want to be here for 3 hours. But I do want to.
That's what we said for the lead up.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hit, just some quick points on each match here. In general, if anybody has any comments about the event, real quick, you can go over it. I'm gonna get the photo here that we had.
In general, I'd have to say I'm glad Saddle Ridge is willing to have us back because a lot of people were very happy with the venue. I know I was. So if we ever need a place to host another dog fights, that was a really good time.
Yeah.
And that speaks well too, that because a lot of places when you're, it's good that they want us back. I mean,
it didn't feel like a burden.
Yeah, no. There's some places where, they really don't want you back because it was a pain in the rear. So they were happy with us.
Okay. All right. Let's start by the biggest matches. We'll talk about those first. Palco and Zaccanini.
Woo.
As always, Kevin showing out and just slowly walking them down in first round. It happens every time. Gets that shoulder behind it and just looks at him. Timber.
The stare at the camera.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Well done. Well done, Kevin. Is there anything that you were surprised by or anything like that in that match?
I was pretty confident that it was going to go into a hook. Not many people can beat me in a hook. So, I mean, I was pretty confident that I would win. The only thing that I was worried about is if he was training a top roll and then he could sneak something in on me. But yeah, other than that, I was happy with the match. I thought it was a pretty good show and happy that I got the win.
Which it looked like he tried to top roll that third round and you still got him inside.
Right. Well, I felt it. He was coming up more, which is why I slipped. Well, I think that was the second round, but he was setting up a little bit differently. So I slipped. And then,
I don't know if you noticed, but, you got Zach Lee chirping in the corner. He had his leg up on the table. So,
well, I didn't notice it until I rewatched the match on my camera.
Yeah.
It's legal.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. What is it? It's legal unless your opponent wants your leg down, right?
Right. So if I would have told him to put it down, I think legally he does have to put it down, right?
Yeah.
I do believe so. I think that is correct. I would have to check the thing.
Yeah. If the opponent didn't want the leg up, if he would have put it up, it would be a foul on him. That's the rule.
Gage is here. What's up, Gage? Welcome to the show.
Is it working? Because last time I tried this on my phone, it
Yes,
didn't
sir.
work.
You're on there. Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
He got his filter on, trying to make him look pretty. Look at this. It ain't gonna
Something
work.
like that.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
I mean, one
So
question.
yeah. So Kevin, as always, putting on a show. You know, it's kind of expected at this point, I do believe. So, which
I mean,
is
maybe
good.
one day I'll just come out and flash somebody. I don't know. It just hasn't happened.
No, we don't need.
How boring
I've
is that
never
picture?
seen a
Entertaining.
I've never seen a match where it didn't look difficult for Kevin, and yet he still pulls out a win.
Right.
Dude, the Anatol match was just crazy.
Mhm.
The Anatol match was awesome.
That was the
Dude,
longest
I
3-0
I
I've ever
still
been a part of.
rewatch that. I still rewatch that because despite it being a 3-0, it was close somehow.
Right, right. I mean, he was right there. So, I mean, it's not like I dominated him. I mean, it was getting close to where he was going to get a pin on me.
Round two, you mistimed that press, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I mistimed it big time. I either mistimed it or he knew it was coming and he countered it perfectly.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't understand how do you guys see how he starts his hand?
Completely negative.
Hey, way
It's
back.
like weird. It's like something like, I'm
and
like,
I don't
how
know
is he starting like this?
I don't know if that's
Crazy.
every single opponent for him, but I think he was under the assumption that Kevin was going to supinate into a hook. And if you ever try to supinate into somebody with their wrist back, it's almost impossible.
Right.
So I think that I don't know if that was strategic or if he sets up like that every match. If he sets up like that every match, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I had someone suggest to me, and I won't say who because it might be a stupid remark, but I'll throw it out anyway. That with Dave's size, with like kind of the bodybuilder sort of look, and this is not to suggest, Kevin is not muscular, of course, but could that have, did that cause him to lose a greater amount of power in later rounds than someone who might not be quite as big? Because I mean, I make the same point with when we get to Billy's match, because of course Amos has the bodybuilder training and so forth, and sometimes that's not the best thing for you. And I'm just wondering if someone suggested that Zaccanini might have been the same sort of phenomenon.
What do you think about that, Logan? You've trained with Dave?
Oh man. I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with it because the more muscle mass you have, the more lactic acid stuff fills up and all that stuff. The more you get pumped up.
But the bigger the muscles, the less effort it takes to use them. So it could, in theory, it could
goes
work
both ways.
Both ways.
Here's the problem with that is if you have those big muscles, you might rely on isolating a strong point, like say Amos with his bicep. Say he has super strong biceps, and in his matches he isolates that. Eventually, it's going to wear out. Even though, say for Billy, it pinned him round one. It was strong enough to pin him round one, but he isolated it to the point where he was unable to pull as effectively rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Right.
That's kind of my take on that.
Yeah, and I think maybe somebody with big muscles like that, they don't rely on their tendons as much because they're relying on the actual muscle strength. So that could be.
I will say though, I do pull with Dave a good bit. I will say he does complain about his tendons being fucked up a lot, but he does tend to get tired and wore out kind of quickly if he after like one or two good hard pulls.
I'm in the same boat because as Billy knows, I mainly not to get on stage or anything, but just to be in good health. I did a lot of bodybuilding training before I started arm wrestling, and before the podcast went live, I had mentioned that I was actually in better shape before I started arm wrestling, but overall for the arm wrestling aspect,
shape.
Yeah,
but you wasn't as strong, probably.
No, not at all. Because bodybuilding, you're trying to isolate each individual muscle group to make it bigger, not necessarily stronger. Like you see powerlifting guys, they got a little chub, they're not ripped or anything. I was trying to stay in a calorie deficit while getting shredded. I started arm wrestling, stopped training legs, and now I'm seeing the consequences of having all the tendon issues like Dave was.
Alex said in the chat, bigger the muscle, bigger the pump.
I see Hunter Ayers is in the
100%.
chat.
Yeah, Hunter, get in here.
Hunter,
Yeah, I don't get any pump on my left arm, but my right arm gets a crazy pump. And it's just because my left arm is like, all tendons, and then my right
It doesn't
arm
get used.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Hunter was
Dude,
snapping me.
I don't use my left very often at all.
Hunter was snapping me earlier, and he was saying he just wanted to watch the podcast, but maybe he'll hop on. I hope he does.
Yeah. Dave Anderson, what's up, brother? Okay, so like we said, Kevin always putting on a good show. That's why Dog Fights is his thing. He's the man. That's why we got 33,000 subs now on YouTube.
Oh, it might be above that. Let me see.
Dude, that's awesome.
Kevin's
Do you think
killing
most
it.
of those came from the TikToks, or did you
I don't
think
know. I'm
that
sure
they
some
come
of them
from
did
the
because
YouTube?
there was a big spike. Like when I created my TikTok, the YouTube subs did spike up too. But then a lot of it was because I went to Canada at the same time. So
Yeah.
you had like the TikTok spike, then you had the Canada spike.
Now,
And
were
now,
you able to link your YouTube to your TikTok?
Yeah, you
or
can.
or do you have to like physically screen record the videos and then put them on YouTube?
so every time I make a TikTok, that video saves into my photos, and then I can just upload it right onto YouTube.
Nice.
Okay, perfect.
I was going to ask you, Kevin, did your YouTube spike after you had Martin on your TikTok?
After I had Auden on there?
Martin. Because the Amish video got like half a
Yeah,
million
there's like
views or something?
350,000 views on it.
True.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Martin's
I'd
famous.
have to look.
I joke with him all the time.
Yeah, this is the most he's ever been seen in his life, probably. But I did start on my TikToks. At the end of the TikTok, I put my YouTube thing on there. That way, if it does get 1 million views or something, even if 5,000 people see it and go to the YouTube, that's still going to be huge.
Dude,
Oh,
Kev, just
absolutely.
put that link for your YouTube at the bottom of all your
it's up
TikToks.
to 38.1 thousand subscribers. So
That's
we'll
right,
be at
baby.
40. We'll
Dude,
be at
I
40,
remember when we was talking about the whole YouTube thing, and you had like 900 at that time. When I first got into it, now you're at like 38,000. That's awesome, dude.
I had no clue.
Awesome.
I will say TikTok is a very effective way to get quick traction.
Yep.
Because I only have like 15.7 thousand followers on there, and I like to post on there because even though I'm new, I want the sport to like get bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like I want more people to see it and stuff. So I like to post on there, but it is a very effective and quick way to blow up and get subscribers or followers on any.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of seems like they have good video editing features too.
Yeah, right through TikTok, you edit everything.
That's pretty cool.
You can trim it, crop it. They even have some visual effects. I use them sometimes. It's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you use the own TikTok, like if you edit it from TikTok, from any recommendation TikTok does on your video that you can put on, if you use it, TikTok will recommend that video more and more and more and more. Because I have a TikTok too, and it's not that big because I edit my own stuff. I don't do it through TikTok, and I think that's the thing. If you edit it through TikTok, TikTok will recommend it more. I don't know. I think that's it.
I've noticed that with TikTok. I'm like, why do some people's videos, like almost every one of my videos, get from 30,000 to like 500,000 views, every single one. And then other people's, they're putting out the same content, high-level arm wrestlers doing the same thing I'm doing, like 500 views. So I don't know
Mustache
what it
again. Mustache again.
Algorithm.
it always comes down to
Algorithm,
mustache.
exactly.
Dude,
That's it.
the
That's
Yeah.
algorithm, man, will make or break somebody. I tell you.
Yeah.
And
It's
plus,
the
and
that's not the
hands
thing.
that are in
I'm gonna
control,
hashtag,
dude.
I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna hashtag Kevin Palco. See if it makes a difference because
Yeah.
maybe it would, you know.
So when
That's
I
another
make
thing,
videos, I hashtag every single thing I can think of.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
another thing. Like
definitely don't do that.
you see Kevin's video with Martin, you see Amish strength, and you're like, oh yeah, these guys got to be strong. You know, they're farm
Clickbait.
fed, they worked all their life. Like that's a good thumbnail. And
Right.
on the first thumbnail of the video, like on the actual picture, it's Martin giving it his all with the big caption that says Amish strength. Like
Yeah.
that for a viewer gets drawn in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
Like TikTok, you can be way more clickbaity, I think. Like on
Yeah.
YouTube, I don't really want to be clickbaity because then it turns people off. On
Yeah.
on TikTok, you could just do whatever the heck you.
Have you ever been at a tournament with Amish women pulling in the women's division? Seriously, you know, so the, you know,
I've never seen it.
it was one of the, I think it was the very first tournament I went to, which is, you know, some I post today. It was actually 7 years ago today. And there were a couple Amish women there, and one just, you know, had never pulled, had just crushed everybody. On the other hand, you know, she was scaring the crap out of everybody with the, you know, she knew nothing about arm break position. Everybody was waiting for something to go. But, you know, just, you know, had apparently the bone density for all the stuff she had done. But you get these Amish women pulling there, and the same thing. Yeah, they kill it. They absolutely kill it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on. We're already 45 minutes in. We've talked about two subjects.
Just Billy's and Kevin's super match.
We've talked about Alex, and we've talked about Kevin's YouTube and part of his video. Okay. Bo Horner versus Richard Calero. I tell you what, that was awesome seeing so much support to those guys via sponsorship money. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Shout out Manolo for throwing in on that. I know those guys that really appreciate it.
Bro, I really thought it was gonna be a tougher match because I know Richard is a bad dude on the table, you know, amazing back pressure and rising, and you know, Bo is like an inside hook guy, you know, and he kind of arm wrestles like I do, and to me that's venom, you know, and the way he I was just as frustrated as Richard when I saw the match. I love Bo. I love him. He's a great guy. He's my friend. But I thought Richard could, you know.
Well, with a guy that
Bose-
posts high like Richard, it's easier to turn those guys inside. Like it's easier to get a bigger bite on their hand. I think if he would have set up a little more low hand, he could have gotten away from the press slightly easier. Not that Bo wouldn't have gotten to it because Bo's
Bo is
ridiculously
super
strong.
fast.
His
Yeah.
right, not only that, he's
Dude,
super
he
technical,
is-
and his right hand is very on point right now. Like the past few tournaments we've competed, and he's crushed it. Seriously,
Dude, he's killing everywhere. Everywhere.
I liked Bryce Meadows' post on one of Bo's posts, and it was the dude from Infinity War walking out of the clouds or whatever.
Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos. And he said that's like Bo walking in and everybody going, oh. Dang. But I already told Bo, I said, man, I want to have him back to another match at either, you know, whatever. I'm sure Kevin would have him back too, but, you know, whoever's, you know, super match card, it's going to be hard finding Bo a match.
Nope.
I'm telling you.
No one's
I'd
going
like
to
to
want
see
to match
him
with
with
him.
J-Rob. That's what I would like to see, honestly, but because I think Rich, stylistically, Bo is a very hard matchup for Rich. Because look at the guys that beat Rich: Joel Hudick, Tim Lewis, Bo. They all have that tough inside game, and Rich usually gets opened up in his side pressure. He loses his side pressure. Jason, on the other hand, is a completely different style than Rich's, and I think it could be a better match against Bo.
No, because there's not many options left in our region.
Not at all.
There is not.
I don't remember. It was the second or third round where Richard started pronating, and he had something, and he just stopped and went inside again. I was like, maybe he would had a better match if it was outside the straps.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't
and despite the weight difference, because now Bo's weighing in for the 198 classes. Even
That's-
him
He has to
being
cut.
able to make
I mean,
198,
he cut from 210 to 12 to make that.
yeah. Even then, 210 to 212, I would still have
Hey, Tim's here.
him. Yeah,
Hey,
but
Timmy.
Hey,
I would still have Bo as a favorite versus J Rob personally, just because of the style. He's so fast and his
Dude, so
press
quick.
hits so hard.
Jason's too slow for him, I think, and Bo also has that press. Like
Yeah.
it's not just his inside; he has a dangerous shoulder roll too.
Now,
Right.
Tim, have you pulled J Rob right-handed?
No,
That wouldn't be a
but
match at all.
I don't think that would be a match. I mean, I would
No.
get beat, but Bo, I just think is on a higher level than that, just in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my right is very marginal. Like we see this, like I'm strong inside and a slow hook, but you know, I can't really force it there. You know,
Right.
How
The
does
only
Bo
other
do
guy
it
would
in
be DJ
Eric
Fenton.
Smith?
What's that, Kev?
The only other guy would be DJ Fenton.
well,
Yeah.
and I mean now we're in the supers. I mean, you know, we're
Right.
talking
I mean,
about.
I
that
don't
might
think
be where
Bo.
we have to
I don't
go.
think
though.
Bo is even, contemplating that. To be
No, I
honest
don't
with you,
know either. But
that would have to be like, okay, here's $500. If you pull DJ Fenton, but DJ's going to want $500 or probably more. You got to talk to him, but
Yeah.
that those matches are the ones that it's going to cost money to do.
Mhm.
How does Bo go against Cody Smith since they're in the same weight class?
Well, you got to remember,
Not right
Cody
now.
is a left-handed bull. Okay,
Oh.
his right is not bad, but he doesn't really give a care about his right. So I
Correct.
mean, Cody would, absolutely annihilate Bo left. I mean, like that
Yeah.
would not even be a match.
Yeah, Cody just beat Tyler
right
Irwin.
arm, I think Bo wins, but
I saw
don't
that.
think he cares. Like,
I think they went
Cody
2-2,
is
didn't they?
only concerned with his left arm right now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Back to
National
the subject. Back to the subject. I think the Bo versus Rich match was mainly a stylistic disadvantage for Rich.
Mhm.
I mean, if anyone wants
I could
to,
agree with that. I
if
could agree
anyone
with.
wants to say no, but
I still like the
'cause-
match because it gave Rich an opportunity to get, to get another shot at Bo from November.
Right.
right,
and to be honest with you, I will always attempt to give Rich Calero a avenue to shine
right.
because I just love him.
And
Man. He's such a
I
good.
can say that. I can say that stylistically because, and Tim can back me up on this. When we went up to Rochester, I got matched up with Yusuf Wilson, and he's been training with Aiden LeMay, and he likes to, if he can, start with a press. And mind you, my arms were destroyed because I decided to go to practice the Thursday before the weekend. But
Of course.
Right.
he hit with the press, and it felt like I wasn't even on the table. Like my hand just ended up going to the pad. So I think someone who tries to top roll and apply that back pressure like Rich, I think someone who presses and turns that shoulder in is a very hard matchup.
You got to meet him center table and load that side pressure in, and then just
Side pressure load is your only shot. If they can't get behind their shoulder, that's your only chance. And even then, they might. We train with Hunter all the time, and he'll be in the negative and slip his shoulder behind and flop press.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, so Bo, cashing out. I think he made like $500 with that match. That was awesome.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
For
That was
it
sweet.
being a free entry event, that's awesome to see. Guys have the availability to take home some significant cash. That's awesome. Definitely awesome. All right, next match, Tim Lewis versus James Metheny. That was a good match.
I don't
Yeah,
know if
Good match.
if people do this or but James was the one that he saw me at the event. Like we didn't know that going into this, but he saw me at the event, before it started. And he was the one that basically suggested that we just start every match in the strap.
And then
Bad
goes back
idea.
on it.
Well, but here's the thing, is we didn't really agree to it, officially beforehand. It's not like we said that going in and it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was kind of a between us thing, but we never really told anybody about it. I think when we went up to the table, we said something to Robert. We're like, oh yeah, we agreed to start the strap.
Okay, for
And I
round
was
one,
gonna say
would
that.
be assumed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because, you guys, I understood from Tim that you guys agreed to start in the straps, and all of a sudden round 3 happened. Tim won twice, and it wasn't in the strap.
But it's okay, well, now it's 2-0 in my favor, and it's okay, enough of that.
So Tim's
Now,
trying to make it a show.
Here's the thing. At that point, it didn't really bother me that much. And there were mainly 2 reasons. Because, one, there was no money involved. Okay?
Yeah,
and that was the big factor. If this, let's just hypothetically say that we had $200 in the match. Well, now
Every match is starting in the
if
straight.
he says that, we're coming, and I'm saying you, Bobby, and I'm saying, oh, by the way, we both agreed that every match in this super match is going to start at strap. And and then that really wasn't going to fly. I would have said something. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
But the fact that there wasn't any money involved, and it was kind of we wanted to put on a show, and it was already clear that I was dominant. I'm well, you know what? Let's see what happens here. Let's see if I can really, do this legit without slipping, or slipping legit. So I mean, I don't mind the outcome. I thought it was a good idea, despite the loss. I mean, it's not always about winning. Sometimes you learn from those situations.
Yep. That was a great match.
I also think it shows a lot of class too, because I could have made a fuss about it, but I mean, come on, how does that really look? You know what I mean? And like I said, it's different if there would have been money involved, but no money involved. I think you just go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
The only thing I wish I would have done differently, though, is I wish that after we agreed to not go in the strap, that I didn't change my game plan, because my game plan just became trying to flip at that point. I didn't actually try to go for anything. And in that round 5, that one time I stopped him, I'm you know what? Damn, I kind of pussied out here. I should have just grabbed him low and tried to stop him. And okay, maybe he would have got 1 or 2 in there, But I felt like at that point, all I needed to do was beat him once. But like I didn't trust myself. Like I kept running and running and running. So like that's the only thing that like I wish that I didn't do, you know?
Yeah. I mean, with no money on the line, I don't blame you, you know.
Right.
All right. So if anybody has any other comments on that match, we're going to move on to the next one. James actually in the chat said, what about Niles versus Bo?
I think J Rob beats Niles, so I still think Jay would be
Yeah,
they might
I
throw
like
Joel Hudick and Bo maybe.
I think I asked Joel about that match and he never answered.
It would have to be in the wintertime because Joel doesn't train in the summer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I gotta keep getting a phone call by accident. Okay, so next match, Matt Speakman versus Parker Wise.
All right, I want to speak on this one first, just because there's only a few that I actually know. So I know the Speakman guy, left-handed, is extremely good. So I thought he was going to be the favorite in that. But I was on FaceTime with a couple of friends watching this. And then I pulled Parker right-handed at your event, and that's his offhand, and he felt extremely strong. And my right arm is a novice, but it's not too bad. So I actually picked Parker as a favorite, and I didn't think it was going to be a 3-0, but he impressed me for sure for being left-handed.
Oh,
Appreciate it, Gage.
yeah, Parker's left hand is very, very good. Left arm.
Me personally, so when I held you, Matt, in the third round before the elbow foul, I personally was hoping you were going to try to slip because that way we can have at least one match in the straps, just see what would happen. But me personally, I love pulling in the strap. I know my angles. I know how I want to set up. Like, you can ask Billy. Most of the time, I'm pretty uncomfortable out of the strap. But like pulling, I felt pretty good, and I didn't really feel a need to. But in my head, I was hoping it was going to go to the strap, and it just ended up not. I think we pulled in the strap in the after pulls, but yeah.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Continue talking about that match if you want. Matt, what do you think?
I think I definitely want to do a rematch with him because I was only once I got to the table, I thought I was feeling good, but once I got to the table, I realized how much the hot week took out of me. So I was only about 20%.
Dude, it was so hot that week.
Yeah, and
it was pretty hot. Yeah,
the match was so late in the day that took even more out of me. I definitely want to read.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know how much you cut down to 176 for events, but hey, if you're willing to cut down for whatever next local event there is, I'm sure I'll meet you left-handed.
That sounds good.
And I mean, if we both cut to 76, it's got to count for the rankings at that point, in my opinion.
They don't even update those anymore.
I was gonna say, like,
Billy
I
should
noticed, like,
I don't know. I mean, like,
I gotta talk to
listen.
listen. I gotta talk to Jose about that. And he had already talked to me briefly about possibly taking control of it. So I'll talk to Jose, and I wanted to wait until after this event anyway, because leading up to the event, you're so busy and everything. So we'll discuss that and see what all parameters go along with taking over the rankings, who is still involved and what it curtails, and can I change or can I not change anything,
Yeah.
So,
and I know I started yelling during our match, and I was like, hey, give me the 7 rankings. I was feeling good, whatever. But at the end of the day, neither of us weighed in at 176. I think I was 182 and you were 184 or something. Like, neither of us technically would have been eligible, but I mean, if we meet each other in some division in the 76 class, that's when I feel like, hey, this should count. You know what I mean?
Oh, it'll
Because
definitely.
right now,
Yeah.
and Billy looked it up on Air's Arm, and it counted our match as a 198 match. So,
Yeah, because you guys wasn't 76.
right. I'm surprised it wasn't counted as a 187 match, but, you know, it don't
It
really
just
matter,
depends
I
on
suppose.
what it was sent in as. That's all.
Right.
Now, I'm sure that they could probably change it, but I wouldn't worry about it. We mainly go 76, 98, 220. You know, we mainly
I'm
use
not
those.
concerned about the IFA weight classes, but
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on that match? I thought it was a good match. I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of my boy.
I will say, first round, Matt, you had me fucking nervous, dude. Listen, I mean,
Dude,
I'm not sure.
Dude, I tapped his shoulder and I was like, holy crap, that's not moving. There was no give in Matt's left trap. Like he was like, oh, it was just like hitting a wall. I was like shoulder,
What?
and
So
there was no give.
We get up to the table and he instantly loads back. I'm like, holy crap, if this is his initial load, then if he has 50% more above this, I'm screwed. Like, I have nothing more than this. It was almost everything I had to keep him center table before the go. But evidently, Matt, you were loading like almost redlining there. So I was able to take the win. But
I
I'll
did
tell you
have
right now.
I did have more for back, but I was just loading up enough. I was going to go sideways with it. And
Listen,
I didn't have
I'll tell you
nothing.
right now, your load had me terrified. I started screaming before the match, doing all that, like, and that's recent. I've been up to that point the most composed arm wrestler you can imagine. Just walk up to the table, be technical, and do what I can. But you started loading into me, and I'm like, "Whew, this probably means he has another 50, 60% after this, and I am screwed."
If I would have thought about it, I would have went back.
There's always those things, man. If I shoulda, woulda, coulda did this, then maybe I would have did that. And man, it's always those thoughts. Day after, 2 days after you talk to your buddies and stuff, it's like, dang.
Because with the strict reffing, I was expecting a no load start, and that's kind of where I feel comfortable. But he loaded into me. I just kept him kind of center table.
Matched. You guys were not in the ref script, and you guys matched load.
Yep.
So it stayed center.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And I
Let's
recall
check out the chat real quick, guys. In regards to Tim's match and James's match, Proxel said James has definitely stepped up since I pulled him in Michigan 23. Tracy Hare, he's here. What's up, Tracy? James said, thanks, Josh. And so have you for sure. The guy from Texas. Anyone here ever hawk Todd to get a slip in a match? James said, I'll pull Tim again in the scraps for the entire match. Put up that money, though. There you go, Tim.
Speaking of Hawk Tua, and we're not going to make a whole subject about this, but there was a specific female presence that was happening in the after pools that was very...
Yeah, we're going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
I said something to her boyfriend. Probably shouldn't have said, but after I said that, they left. But
now I'm curious on what you said.
Well, so the guy she was with, that bald dude, you know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
I do.
The beard. Well, we were after pulling, and he was pulling everybody. I went up there, and she was rubbing up on everybody. She even tried it on me, but I was like, no. And I was pulling her, whatever it was. I don't know what you call them. And she started talking about, I'll fuck your mother or some more shit. And I look at her, I said, you might say that to all these other boys, but you don't talk about my mama. I don't give a fuck. And I didn't want to say anything to her because she's a woman. So I looked at him and I said, "You better tighten up your bitch's leash." And I shouldn't have said that. But I said, and he was like, "Don't call me a bitch." And then I repeated it. And then he was like, "We're leaving, we're leaving." And that's when they paid their tab and left.
Hey,
So were
Logan.
they even arm wrestlers though, or were they?
No.
random?
No, they were
No.
just
Bar?
randoms from local. They were local.
Yeah.
Okay.
Logan.
Modern
Now that
problem
I know that
needs
you put the end of
modern
that, I
solutions.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put up with a lot of shit, but don't disrespect my mother. I can't take
Yeah.
that shit. I can't
Kevin's
take
like,
that shit.
thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, she was
Dude.
on Kevin bad. She was
Dude,
She
was
wanted
even
that
talking.
mustache.
You should
She
have heard what
wanted
she
a
was
piece
saying
of
to
Kevin.
Zach. She was saying some nasty shit to Zach, man.
Oh,
Dude,
jeez.
About his
Man, I'm
dead
glad you
grandmother.
scared her
Kevin
off.
Kevin and Zach were after pulling, and she was like, "Oh, he's gonna destroy you, Zach. Blah blah. Blah. You ain't nothing." I'm like,
You fucking pussy. She said she would fuck
Like-
his dead grandmother.
Oh, my God.
"He's terrible."
Like weird
Some of
shit,
these-
man.
Hey,
Some of
you
these
guys
people-
understand why I like having our events at churches.
Yes, yes.
This is why. We don't
But I
have to
will
deal
say-
with these issues most of the time.
I will say one person out of the whole event isn't too bad. You know what I mean?
No.
But
yeah, no. Well,
she
yeah.
was just on a different level. I don't know what she was on, but it was not normal, the shit she was saying.
In theory, if we all just hightailed it out of there after the event was over, none of that would have happened. So, we're hanging out, having a good time. You're bound to have some issues at some point.
I do recall Kevin because Kevin said, "Hey, we need the after pool while we're still somewhat fresh." I'm like, "Okay," and then we get ready to, and Kevin's like, "Hold on, let me take care of these drunk guys, and then we'll move on." So, and that was kind of for the first probably 20 minutes of the after pools. That was kind of the idea: was get these guys out of here, show them who's boss, and then afterwards, all the arm wrestlers could have some fun. But other than that, it was a great venue. I loved it.
Yep.
All right. So moving on. Croxel versus Tucker.
Croxel
My
finally
boy,
got a win, dude.
Croxel. Yeah,
Finally.
let's go.
I was
What
quite
a beast.
because
Long
Vincent
overdue.
the man. So to see him lose the way he did, right-handed, was surprising to me. But it woke him up so he can train harder for next time.
That's good. That's real good. Yeah, because he's one of your training partners, isn't he?
Yeah. So, and that it really shocked us that he was, lost what he did. So,
Yeah.
And in terms of Josh, I'm going to say, as like me and Billy can both account to this, to see Croxel finally pull off a win and get his head out of his butt is awesome, because we bug him.
I see a lot of hearts going off in the chat.
At the Kiwanis event, there's matches he shouldn't have lost due to elbow fouls or something stupid. And against Vince, he just seemed dialed in. He was getting his shoulder behind his arm, which I'm not sure there's too many people around his weight that can deal with him with his shoulder behind his arm.
Dude, it is
And
devastating.
once he got there, there was no stopping it. So I'm glad to see him finally get a well-deserved win.
Yep. That was a very, very awesome moment whenever that third
Long awaited
pin happened. I was like, yes, there you go.
Yeah.
I was like, atta boy, Croxel.
Yep. Long awaited.
Yeah.
So
Because he's had
talk about your match with Amos.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
we
why did we just brush over that?
well, I was doing
Like we
the
talked
most
about Kevin
important
first. He
matches
was the
first.
last match.
Yeah, I was trying to get the big matches out first.
Billy, you were the big match. That was an
Oh,
awesome win for you.
Why did you say you were the underdog? I mean, you were not the underdog. I mean,
Well, my confidence level was based off of him beating Mike Knepp, which beats me, and Otha, which beats me. But, I thank God I had Otha right there in my corner, giving me the pointers. where to
Listen.
have my hand and stuff, and because he
For
got beat
style-
by Amos, and Amos, you know, he just did 1, 2, 3 on both of those guys.
He's
So-
not.
Styles.
Stylistically, it's a bad match for him. Your hand is very dominant. You know.
I was about to say Styles make matches, and I could tell right away by looking at him, he's going to sink into a hook and he's going to drag with his biceps. And as soon as that first match happened, I'm like, okay, he's tired. Like, you're not just going to drag someone like Billy across the table with only your lat and your bicep and not be tired. So the second round happened, and I kind of expected the result to happen. I thought it might have went to the strap, but it didn't. And after that, Billy just mopped the floor and went about his day.
I was really surprised round 1 that I held him in the strap that long. I was like, I might have
and
a
Your
shot.
pronator was
Well-
still activated though. Like he did
Big
not
time.
have you completely turned palm up.
Correct.
That's the thing. He could not engage a fully supinated hook. Like, there was no chopping down in that match. It was just a matter of palm connection and dragging backwards, which Tim has a lot of experience with. But after that first match, I could tell you gassed him out. And I think I said something on the mic that how much damage did that do to Amos's arm? And turns out it was a lot. And he just couldn't hang with you after that. So I'm happy to see you get that big win.
Yeah, and props to Amos, dude. I mean, 12, 14 days notice, you know, taking a match. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that's
in the
awesome.
gym every day, and he
Yeah.
trains every day. And I knew he was strong, but being on the table every week is different than being in the gym every day.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I was just afraid of that power, man. I know how much power he has. I was just trying to stay away from it, but I was definitely
My only worry for you was that pain that you get connecting your pronator. I was like, man, if he starts to get some sort of tingling feeling there might be a blowout here. But luckily, you must have been feeling good because you pulled out a 3-1 win. But
yeah.
I know me and you practice pulling. I allegedly may have hurt you, so hopefully that's all resolved by now.
I still feel it. I still got it right there. It's all your fault. Well, it's my fault for doing that.
Well,
You know,
I mean,
prior to that tendon pain was never there because I never did that. I never went and pushed like that.
I didn't even know what you did. All I know is you said your arm hurt, and I stopped. But
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what caused the pain. But me personally, I'm just glad it didn't come back to bite you in that match because you rocked it in that match.
I was definitely,
I was so happy to see you win.
dude. I was nervous going into that one, dude. My heart was racing, especially in the strap right before round 1 in the strap started. Oh my goodness, dude, my heart was pounding out of my chest. I'm like, okay,
and
this
we
is
had
where I don't want to be.
Yeah, we had the lead up podcast, and Tim can quote me on this. And Tim was like, "You're straight up a favorite," and I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I've never seen Amos in my life, but all I remember is you talking about how big his arms are and how strong he is." And I was like, "I don't know. Like, that's a big piece of competition." And after round 1 in the straps, Billy wore him out and pretty much mopped up the house. So that was an awesome win. My match with Matt, your match with Amos, and Kevin's match with Dave are the 3 that I constantly go back and watch because they were just sweet matches. My match with Matt, that might be biased.
Well,
but
and then that match with Kurt and Matt was like 31 minutes or something.
see, okay, the match with Kurt and Matt, like, yeah, it lasted a long time, but I started to get bored of the fouls.
Yeah.
That's just me personally. Like, it might have been match of the night because it was back and forth, but I got very tired. Like, I just wanted to see a clean arm wrestling match, and it
Right.
didn't really happen until the last round.
Right.
And so
I was
I have
like,
a
get
hard
me off
time
this
going
freaking
back.
table, dude.
Yeah.
I was getting
Oh,
Well,
annoyed.
that's why
Yeah,
it took
it was
so
strict
long,
rules,
though,
yeah.
is because they had it set up. I think there were probably like 12 or 13 setups in that match. Or
It was
something
nuts.
like
There were
that.
so
I
many.
mean,
It was horrible.
There was at least
you
3
know,
fouls
at
per
2 minutes
round.
apiece, of 2 minutes of setup, and then, you know, breaks, you know, all the breaks and all that. I mean,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so as far as my match goes, I'm definitely happy I pulled out the victory, you know. I messaged Amos and thanked him again for taking the match on short notice. You know, it takes a lot of balls for you guys to, i.e., Matt, you know, and Amos and everybody else that took matches with 2 weeks notice. You know, takes a lot of balls doing that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
no
And-
prep. You know, no homework. You know,
And I personally want to say, like, even though, like, a lot of people would consider me the favorite, I still want that match with Ian because he backed out due to, you know, he wanted to go to a tournament the week after. I still want that match. So if that can happen at the next dog fights, whenever it is, I'll take it, like, in a heartbeat, just to kind of close the case, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Can we
Bryce,
talk about Logan and Hunter match?
Bryce,
I got-
welcome to the show.
What's up, boys?
What's up? Okay.
What's up,
Can we
Mr.
do the-
Gage? What's up, Gage?
How you doing? Phenomenal.
Trying to
in line,
recover.
we got
Sick or sore.
yeah, we got Pritchard and Hood in line anyway. So I was just annoyed by round 5. I said, "All right, finally, thank you, Jesus, we're done." And I just ran, but I was like, "Get me out of here!" Oh, geez, I was exhausted after that one. You guys have no idea sometimes how hard reffing is mentally.
Listen, reffing sucks. All I've ever done is down ref, and even that sometimes just sucks.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine being the head ref. Like I remember at the Kiwanis event, I'll call you out here, Billy. You said, "Hey, I gotta go take a poop. Can you ref for me?" And I had Justice be the head ref and me be the down ref because I wanted nothing to do with setting the people up. I just wanted to point my finger, say the wrist is good. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, dude, reffing sucks sometimes. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun until it's not.
Rewarding, but man, it sucks sometimes, man. Especially when you get freaking people screaming at you and all kinds of crap, and you know,
like the Christian, and I'm sure we'll get to this in the dog fights, but the Christian versus Christian Ashby versus Chris Thomas at the Kiwanis event was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember saying, man, I'm glad that I'm not reffing that match.
Right.
Yeah, glad it's dog fights, definitely.
Yeah,
I think that, and to kind of branch off just for a second here, I think at the dog fights event, having the 2 different rule sets made it interesting, for sure.
It's nice, and I talked to Robbie about this. It is nice to know that not every single match you have to ref. You know,
Yeah.
You know, it gives
Yeah,
guys
it gave
a
the
break.
refs a break. It gave the rule
Gives
set a
them
break.
Yeah, exactly, and it's nice. You know, it gives people options, which is always fun. You know, okay, you know,
what was the breakdown of the 18? About half and half rule set?
I think it was mainly dogfight. Actually, I think I only had to ref maybe like 5 matches, something like that.
Oh, 2-1. All right,
but they were like in, you know, spread out.
And that's something I'm not sure if he's still in here.
I did.
Would have.
Is Matt still in here?
He just left. Tina said he left.
I did Justice. I did Palmer and Meadows. I did Speakman and Wise. Croxel and no, I didn't do Croxel and Tucker. Yeah, I did Croxel and Tucker. Hood, Pritchard. That's it. No, Horner. did that
I was
one
gonna
too.
ask
So I did
Matt
6.
if he was still in here why he decided to last minute switch it to strict reffing, because either way I didn't care. I keep my elbow on the pad. I go when the ref says go, but I was just interested to see what his perspective was on choosing the strict reffing over the dogfights reffing.
Yeah. Matt,
So-
if you're still here watching, pop back in and let us know.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Let's check out the chat here real quick before I get too far behind. 6 Mile Mary. Hi, Mary. Niles versus Bo. No. We already got that. Hawk Tie. Yep, got that. Let's see here. James said, I wanted to beat Tim at his best with no excuses. Well, that's not going to happen on his right arm. So,
Yeah.
Croxel said, "Thank you, guys. You're welcome, Croxel, man. What a great match for you." Tim Lewis better start pumping gas or move. Huffing all those fumes for free is stealing. No idea what that means. Christian said,
Wood can go off the rails. So, you know.
Alex calling out Bryce for being at Planet Fitness. Let's see. He must have saw that and he got off the stream. Bryce took off. He's like, I can't be seen here.
Bryce is setting off the lunk alarm.
The guy from Texas said, what's his name again, Dave?
Andrew Wood.
Mr. Wood. I think reffing could be a lot more fun if done remotely at the streaming table where your monitor cameras and communicate to the table referee if there is a stoppage. So they do have camera down refs. They've done that before, where you just have one up ref and you're got the headset, and then somebody else is on a camera, looking at it. But yeah, it happens. Christian also said, I'm glad Chris didn't go with strict rules. Yeah, me too.
Speaking of Wood, just speaking of the last name, I want to talk about Alex's match with Chris.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like, crazy energy. I mean, I know Alex mainly put on the show, but despite it being a 3-0,
Chris gets everybody hyped up no matter where he goes.
Yeah. Despite Alex trying to put on most of the show, that was an exciting match for the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Alex had probably 24 people there, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I heard them all yelling.
I remember my mom said, I didn't know Alex was that big until he won and flexed his muscles. I was like, holy crap, this guy's huge.
I want to see Alex and Amos in a deep hook war.
Oh, that might need to happen. Kevin,
That'd be a fun match.
8. Dog fights 8.
Every match starts
Kevin
in a hook.
Amos.
We'll make it a sit-down match. Do a sit-down between Amos and Alex.
Ooh.
That way there's not a clear advantage to anybody. Does either one have a lot of experience with sit-down?
Nope.
Yeah.
Dude, Croxel and I tried that sit-down. I was like, no.
Yeah, it's different.
Dude, that's total different, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
ew.
No,
Because I just go this way and I can't go this way.
No,
and I think I told Zach.
No, it's not for people people who like to throw themselves across the room. No, it doesn't work. But
Yeah,
I
us
told
body
Zach during the
wrestlers,
after
you're not
polls.
allowed to use your body.
well, I'll tell you though, I really think that if I come out there, again, I will definitely bring the sit-down table because if no other reason, the kids just loved it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think
they
it was
loved
a
it.
huge hit with everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we chose to bring that, Dave. That was a great call on your part, man.
Maybe I'll change dog fights to just sit down.
Oh my goodness.
We're changing the whole game. Dog fights is a completely different thing.
Nice.
You need to.
I know.
You need to have one where every match starts in the strap.
Yep.
I would have loved to
Yeah.
go to Jason Vale, but I was already committed to running brackets for a different tournament that day. But I usually try to make it to the because Jason Vale's a all strap match
I
tournament.
know I was teasing Zach about, hey, you can't put your leg up on this table because he sat down with somebody, and Zach just pretty much showed up to coach an after pool, and he was after pool and like, hey, your leg up isn't going to do anything, and he just kind of chuckled at me. But yeah, it was an interesting difference between the stand up table for sure.
I don't like it. But
Yeah. It's interesting.
any other
too,
thoughts on
because-
Alex Bean and Chris Wood, Mr. Voodoo? Any other thoughts on that? I'm super proud of Alex. He put a year's worth of work in his right hand, and it showed in dominant fashion.
In terms of that match, I don't know if anyone else noticed this. I'm sure Kevin did because he was holding the tripod on stage. But I want to give a shout out to Josh Batchelor for just trolling on the sideline. Oh my God!
Where's your teammates now?
He was like, "Who's rooting for you? No one's here for you." The whole East Ohio crew was there, and Josh was just chirping and chirping and chirping. It was the funniest thing of the night.
Yep, I was right
sure.
there. That was great.
Dude, I saw Chris's face get red, and man, he could not hold it in. He started, dude,
he wanted to punch Batch in the face. He wanted to punch
boy.
Batch. I knew it. Just looking at the way they were looking at each other. Batch had a few drinks in him. He didn't care. He was all right with what was happening after. But yeah, he was there to chirp.
That was hilarious. Batch was just laughing though.
Yeah,
it was fun. He just started laughing like I think it was like round 2 or something like that. Alex just slammed him, and I just look over and Batch is just laughing hysterically.
I think I got a little bit of that on footage.
Oh, nice.
I looked over to Josh, and he just got this huge smile on his face.
After that moment, I've determined that Batch is the best corner man to ever exist, because Alex didn't have to do anything to get in Chris's head. Batch did all the work.
Yeah.
Like, Chris was so incredibly pissed off at Batch that he forgot that Alex existed.
Right. Yeah, it's like Batch is up here, and then Jody Williams is like one step below him.
Yeah.
Jody Larrett.
Yeah, Jody Williams. Yeah, Jody Larrett.
Yeah, Jody Larrett. Dude, that was hilarious. So yeah, we're definitely proud of our boy Alex. Like I said, a year's worth of
big
time and effort into his right hand, and it showed big time.
He put a lot of work into it. And
tons of
if you ask him a year ago, he'll be the first to admit that his left arm is the only thing that's worth anything. And
his right
worked
is very, very good.
He worked that right arm into being what it is, and ultimately pulled out the win because of it.
Dude, it takes everything for me at practice to stay away from his hook. Like, he is very good at getting to it.
I straight up can't do it. One, because when we're in practice, he just says, "You're ready," and then sets you in a hook.
That's perfect, dude. Look at that. Oh, Kev, put that picture as your background
that is so good.
as your backdrop. Dude, that is hilarious.
The blue sunglasses and all.
Got the beer ready to go, dude. That's great.
Yeah.
Aside from Batch being hilarious, like, if we're in practice and you're pulling Alex, he'll just say, "Are you ready?" and then sets you in a hook, and you can't do anything about it. And he put Chris in a hook, and he couldn't do anything about it. Like, he's just super strong.
I saw Chris go like this, and his arm stayed. He was just, ugh.
Yep.
I was like, dang.
He hit back, and his shoulder just gave out.
Because he called me like a few weeks ago. I said, dude, I think you're going to have a bad day. He goes, oh, no. I'm going to beat him. I mean, it's good to have the confidence. It really is. That's something that I didn't have. I applaud Chris for having the confidence still. But, dude, I knew what Chris felt like, a month ago Kevin, is that
Yeah.
what it was? Maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
Dude. And I know what Alex felt like at the first Friday event. Dude, I was just like, I felt him. No. I knew right away. I was like, dude.
And
Alex is
honestly, Billy,
impressive.
I was surprised that you pulled off the win against him at the Kiwanis event. You just got just enough outside
Oh yeah,
to stay away
dude.
from his
I
palm.
stayed way far away from his power,
Yeah.
and it was the speed. Yeah. I think
And
one of the
Chris-
matches I won on fouls.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. I do believe so. Yeah. I can't
I
can't go inside with Alex. It's just can't do it.
I remember saying, like, if Chris can't do what Billy did, then Chris is screwed. Like, if he gets any, like, it's the same kind of scenario
Chris
as
gripped
Tim.
him low on the last
If-
round. I was like, what is he doing?
That
He's
no.
like- He goes like this and just grabs him inside. I'm like, are you trying to lose
Horrible
this
idea.
match?
Horrible
That was the
idea.
worst idea ever. Anyway,
Did
so
all your guys
Alex,
win from your club at
what's
their
that?
super? Did all the guys from your club win their super matches?
Yeah, all of our guys that come every week. Yes.
So
Yeah, I
that
believe
says
so, yeah.
if anybody needs any training, sign up for your course.
Hey, trust me, I'm more than happy
Is there
to.
anybody? Is there
help
anybody
anybody.
there that does anything with Alex like inside?
What is it?
I said, is there anybody there that does anything with Alex inside?
Nope.
No.
Straight up, no.
No. Christian, maybe
Either
if
arm.
Christian gets his shoulder behind it and gets ugly.
Okay.
But
I
Even
know the
that's it.
last
then,
time I was
Alex
there.
Alex will outlast Christian just because Christian's working a lot harder.
Right.
Because
like
usually
Christian
when Christian goes inside, it's a flop.
Yeah. I want to see Alex and Kevin in a hook.
I thought I pulled him at one of your practices the last time I was there, Billy. Like, God, that's
Yeah.
probably like 6 months ago now or something.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a long
I couldn't move him. I didn't feel like I could move him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Once he gets into that spot, good luck. That's the same. That's why I want to see him and Amos. Man, Amos has got that.
Well, I'm
deep-
really the only one that can do anything with him inside.
Yeah, exactly.
That's left-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, him and Tim right-handed.
We pulled a little bit right,
after
too,
pull, yeah.
and I felt like pretty dominant there inside too. I mean, we didn't
Okay.
do like a fast start or anything,
Right.
but I mean, it wasn't as bad as left.
And I
But-
don't think Alex is the kind of person to hit into that hook very fast. He just sets it and puts you along for the ride.
Which is kind of why I feel so comfortable pulling with him,
Right.
because he like goes right into my lane every time.
It's not like a Bo Horner where he flashes into a press. Like, he'll
Exactly.
set the hook and then work from there.
Exactly.
Okay. Next match. If we're going in order, we got Dave Shell versus Adam Gerbert. Mr. Dave,
Dave
should have
needed
got
the
behind his
strap.
freaking arm.
Well, I did not watch the video until actually when I was home. But the first thing that strikes me, I had not only had both talked to me there, and then somebody who saw the video before I did said, "Oh my God, they were just sitting there biting their teeth because of my arm position." And I said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my left shoulder is so tight I can't get it. I never scare the shit out of refs with my left. Right, I do. And really, and once I saw it, I thought, well, yeah, I can see what they were talking about. That, I mean, I don't feel like it was that bad, but yeah, I did kind of turn away on one occasion.
Listen,
It was
Dave, I was rooting for you, but your arm position really, really worried me in that match.
Yeah, that was the first thing that Bo said, and Bo said to me, like, he was, and I'd heard somebody from the in the video. I didn't hear it when it was happening, but when I was watching the video, somebody yelled, "Look at your hand." But I don't know who the heck it was. But yeah, I just that And I'll tell you, you really do zone out at times. In that, I would have sworn that the match that we did slip, we finally slipped, and that's what I need. I need slip training. To be honest with you, because I'm much stronger in the straps, and I just wasn't able to get out of it. But I would have sworn it was the second match, and it wasn't. It was the first. And when I went back and looked at the video, but whatever. And the other thing that struck me is that you may have noticed, what I have is stamina. I don't have that much power, but I have stamina. And after each round, I was basically immediately back at the table, like, okay, let's get this show on the road. Who needs a minute, time off? But so that's basically what struck me looking and everything. I'll be honest with you, I was concerned about wrist. I really thought, because he has very strong grip and a strong wrist, and I thought that would be my downfall. I really wasn't expecting, the press, but I mean, obviously I would have preferred to win, but he what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to make an ass out of myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have some matches where people are saying, what the hell is he doing on the table? And I don't think that was the case here.
No, not at all. I mean, it was a 3-0,
Yeah.
but the 3-0s lasted a long time.
Oh yeah.
So I wouldn't say in terms of entertainment that was fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was a couple times when Dave had like that, you were pronated and he was kind of pressing down on you.
Right.
I'm like, how are you holding that position, Dave? I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah, I have a very sticky thing right. I don't, but right, I can hold it. I really can hold it there, for quite a while. When, in fact, you'll remember when I had that stamina challenge with from California. What's his name at your at the gym the one night, and you folks came wandering over like every 2 minutes. We're laughing that Kyle DePew. And how he was, remember, he was laying on my bicep. In fact, he went to a press and he's laying on my bicep. And finally, after 15 minutes, he realized my bicep was not going to give out. And, we just called it a night. But, I mean, he could have pinned me at any time, but it was just to see, for stamina purposes. But,
right.
no, so I'd be interested in hearing what, other than the fact I was scaring the crap out of you, what other folks thought about it.
I think it's just
it was a
awesome.
well contested
Two guys
match.
in their 70s arm wrestling.
Heck
That's
yeah,
what
dude.
cool with me.
I was happy to have you guys at the event.
Yeah.
I saw a comment somewhere like, "Oh, why do we have two geezers or something along the lines of
arm
two
wrestling
old guys
for everybody, right?
Yeah, I
Even if
love
you're
having
making-
Dave there.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm
yeah.
Exhibit A when people say, you try to talk somebody to get into it and they say, oh, I can't do that. I'm 55 or whatever the hell. And it's like, okay, let me introduce you to somebody. Because in my case, not only the fact I'm 73, but which there are people my age doing it. Obviously, Adam's about 2 years older, a year and a half older, but nobody starts at age 66. People I'm pulling in the 70 plus have been doing it 30 years.
A lot of these guys that are in the 70 plus have been around 30 plus years or more.
Yeah.
The first person that comes to mind to me is Junior, mainly because of the Morgantown event, because he
Junior's
almost whacked everybody.
I mean, 40 years probably, maybe longer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but I was very, very glad to be there. And like I said, and then to be honest with you, I'm very happy for Adam, and I mean this sincerely, in that from things he said to me, I really think he's worried that he's at about the end of his competitive career. And he basically, wanted to, he was very happy to have this one, what I think is one last.
Yeah, and I talked to Adam very briefly behind the stage.
Shout out driving
he was
all the way
asking
up
about
from Georgia too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What a beast.
That's a long road.
Yeah.
But I talked to Adam very briefly behind the stage, and he was asking, do I want a t-shirt, whatever, and I point him towards where you can buy the t-shirts, stuff like that. And dude, he is just the nicest guy.
Yeah.
He just wants to show up and arm wrestle. He loves the sport. Like, there's nothing I like more than seeing people like that excited about what's happening, especially at his age. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to both of you for just showing up and having a match, and for the most part, just having fun and doing what you can to impress the crowd. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, let me catch up on the chat here.
Hey, before you move on, Billy, I am gonna take off. I got some stuff to do before bed, so I appreciate you guys having me on, and enjoy the rest of the podcast. And congratulations to everybody that won. And yeah, I thought it was a good show.
Thanks for
Hey,
sticking
Kevin,
around.
thanks for co-hosting the event. That was and I mean,
yeah, Kevin, I want to say what you're doing for the sport is awesome. You still like you're part of that magic that is pushing arm wrestling forward in every way. So thank you on everything you're doing, and I'm so happy that you're doing so well on your channel, and your social media is growing so fast and so good. You're that kind of guy that deserves it, and you're a worker, and I'm very happy for you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thanks,
for
guys.
allowing East Ohio arm wrestling to have a part in the dog fights. That says, paragraphs about your character.
Yeah, no,
I'm just glad that
business relationship will always be there, I think. I mean, it just
it's a
works
great
perfect.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes down to it, it benefits Ohio right off the bat.
Period.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you something. I haven't finished my East Coast tour, so at some point, I'm going to make it to dog fights. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
I was so ticked whenever I wasn't able to go to Winter
honestly,
to meet you.
I wouldn't consider Ohio to be the East Coast, like technically. But yeah.
Northeast, I believe. Northeast.
Technically it's the Midwest, but a lot of Midwesterners consider us the middle child. So,
right.
Hey, I do the getting around for the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, and I was specifically asked by Ohio, would you adopt us and put our mouth on the thing too? So, you're honorary Northeast Mid-Atlantic, I guess.
There you go. Let's see here. Bryce talking about Silent because that's his teammate.
Yeah, and really not only character there, but
also,
if I could just say that the security that Kevin and his group could feel secure enough to give equal billing to you. That that you weren't afraid of, like some people don't want to, give up any of the limelight. So it's not only his character, but feeling of being sure of himself and sure of himself.
Kevin knows that I'm going to take care of him, and I'm not going to do anything that's going to be detrimental to his brand.
Yeah.
Christian Asprey said Chris didn't know what was happening after Batch entered his head.
Dude, Batch, listen, and I mentioned this during the Chris Wood match. Batch was in everybody's head who wasn't part of East Ohio. Batch was just shouting across the stage, saying ignorant but funny stuff, and it was just a great part of our team. I'm glad Batch was there. Definitely.
Bryce Meadows, after what I seen, I think me and Alex at 220 would be nice in my head. Alex versus Bryce Meadows at 220.
That'd be a pretty good match.
I'd like to see that left in.
Yeah, after Batch doing all his trolling, there's nothing that can. How was I going to say this? Basically, he was the ultimate corner man of the whole event.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
I don't think Alex quite ready for Bryce yet. In my opinion, I mean, inside, yes, but I don't think he can.
Well, right-handed Bryce pulls inside. I pulled him in the after pulls, and I had him sitting on my bicep in a press, and I was able to keep him there. So I think Alex might even have the edge in that match.
Oh.
I mean, left though, I think
Left might be a problem, but right hand,
If
I
Alex
think
can't
it's a valid
contain
match.
his little top hit, yeah. But yeah, I
Right
mean,
hand, I gotta have
like
Alex.
he's leveled up a lot with his right lately, you know. And I mean, I've never really pulled him off a ready go, to see what he can really kind of do off a go. So my only worry would be that. My only worry would be like Bryce's hit off the go. But I think Alex has the power and slope for sure.
Yeah. Maybe that means a Tim Lewis Alex Bean right hand match.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
That,
I mean,
that'd be a fun one to watch.
Badger battle.
Neither of you guys are super explosive. You're just both super strong inside. So I'd like to see that.
right. And I mean, we've, pulled a lot, but, it's practice is practice.
Right. Right.
James, he said, Billy also get smoked, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not pulling Tim. Let's see here. The Drew 24 arm wrestling has helped Dave Shell become better overall. Yes, sir. How many pounds did you lose, Dave? It's like 100, wasn't it?
Unfortunately, I've gained some of them back, but before I started, I lost 188, and I've probably gained 50 some back over the last couple of years. But I'm down. I've lost some years back before I started pulling. I lost 188 from diet and exercise.
You lost Parker.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Tim Trey.
I gotta say, like,
congratulations. Do you have any others? Oh, okay. Let's talk about that match. What are you gonna say, Parker?
I was gonna say, me and you were talking about this, Billy.
Really,
like,
before you go on, I wanna excuse myself because I got some stuff to do. I want to thank you for inviting me. It was a great event this past weekend. It was awesome. And anytime you need me, anything I can do to help you guys out, just let me know.
We appreciate you, Manolo. Thank you so much.
Sir. But
yeah, so catch you in the next one. See you guys.
See you.
God bless you, my friend.
You too.
Yeah. Billy, before the stream went live, I was the first person to join the Zoom call, and me to talk about, hey, new guy that was trying to join the sport and talk about how it could change your life and keep them in shape and stuff like that. I think that's the same scenarios of what was just talked about in terms of, giving someone something to look forward to stay in shape.
Because
it's not just physically in shape too; it's mentally in shape.
They can't just go to the
absolutely.
gym and stuff if they don't have a reason or something to
Yeah,
really
if there's something to work towards, it's gonna, promote them towards the gym and get them in a better part of their life. So something like that, I always like seeing.
Well, it's even more than that. I mean, certainly, yes. Now that I have I keep harping on this, excuse me.
Thanks,
but
Mike.
now that I actually have the new knees and I feel like going back to lift again, I am.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. I really didn't go to the gym at all, really, for almost a year and a half, because I just didn't feel like walking that far. It was hell of me. But now that I'm back to that, I am definitely getting stronger again. But it's more than that. I tell people, not to sound melodramatic, but this sport is keeping me alive. You people are keeping me alive because if I wasn't doing that, you have to have something to get up for. And you have to, even though I may be getting up at 11 o'clock in the morning, thank you, I'm still getting up for it and going to bed at 3 in the morning, getting up at 11. But just the fact that I need just like I said, if I wasn't doing this, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be sitting at home on the couch watching Law and Order reruns and getting ready to drop dead. So I'm getting much more out of the sport than I'm putting into it. Trust me.
You have something to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if you're not arm wrestling.
Yes.
It's the community, guys. It's the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People say, how did you get into this? My honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know what put it in my head, but I'm very glad it did. All I know is the guy that helped me lose that almost 200 pounds said you should have something athletic. And since I have no coordination with anything involving with a ball, that's 85% of the sports in the world, and I hate cardio, there's another 10%. I fell into the right one here, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah. All right, let's move it along. We're almost 2 hours in. We only got a few left to go, but it's more than what I'm thinking. But let's get Logan's match. Let's talk about that. Utter domination by Mr. Logan Bittinger. Is it Bittinger or Bittinger?
That
Hunter it's Bittinger.
He kept flopping. Hunter kept flopping every single round. And I'm a firm believer if it didn't work one time, why would it work all 3 times? Every time.
Because he knew that's the only thing that could possibly slow down Logan at all.
Well, because he couldn't deal with his hand. That was basically what it came down to.
Yeah.
So, he's like, maybe he can catch him off guard, with the flop press, because, sometimes we'll work on that at practice.
But if you're
and at that time,
you're gonna
at the time that match was happening, I was getting ready for my match against Matt. So I was watching his match, but I wasn't super focused on it. I wanted to tell him to shoulder roll and turn the wrist in rather than completely flopping. And I mean, I'm sure we've all heard the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's kind of what Hunter resorted to, but I'm sure in his head he felt that was the only option. But
pure desperation.
If I wasn't trying to get ready for my match and get amped up, whatever, I probably would have been in his corner saying, "Hey, rather than flopping, turn the wrist in and supinate and actually get wrist to wrist with him." But even then, Logan, you're a strong dude. Like, I pulled you in the after pools. I didn't have anything for you. Like, I'm not even sure if it would have been a match, even if Hunter would have gotten into a good lane. But the flop press surely wasn't it.
Right.
Well,
Thoughts, Logan? Thoughts?
When we went out to dinner the night before, Hunter made a comment that to somebody that I know I have my work cut out for me, and of course I didn't know at the moment who he was pulling, and I thought but didn't say, "Holy crap! As big as you are, who the hell are you pulling?" And Hunter, and certainly he did, but that cut out for him. But yeah, it's just. Somebody asked on the one chat afterwards. So in fact, we were like, who should he call out? Bittinger call out for his next match, and I suggested Lachlan Adair as he's the way he's improving. But for anybody, and probably the folks on this, the 6 of us here know, but I imagine some of the folks and watching or in the chat don't. This man's first tournament was March the 23rd of this year.
Yeah.
March.
Wild. I've never seen somebody be so dominant in such a short amount of time. Crazy.
Well, Dave, I will contest that because Logan was at the New Year's Armageddon in January, and he actually flash pinned Hunter. And I remember me and Hunter, John Winkler, it was for the overalls. And John Winkler was, we're both friends with John, and we were both in his corner, sort of. And we were both shouting, he's fast, John, watch out. But yeah, Logan's come a long way since then, even. Like, I think if Hunter would have been prepared for the speed at that point, Hunter could have pulled off the win. But at this point, going toe-to-toe with Bo in practice and toe-to-toe with Zach in practice.
Yeah.
But Logan, it says nothing but the fact that you've come a long way. So I'd like to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. I feel like I have a lot of things that we just talked about that I should address. All right, so that's one thing that I heard. Everybody was like, you got this. You flashed Hunter the first time. You knew nothing. You did no training. And I thought, yeah, but I was so fast I didn't get into his power. So realistically, I had no idea what he was going to feel like. You understand what I'm saying? Because even though we had pulled, I flashed him so fast that I didn't get into the power and I didn't feel it. You know
At
what I
the
mean?
time of the January matchup in the tournament, he at that point was not comfortable with hitting at a flop press. Like he would like in November, he got hook set with John and then got out of the hook and flop pressed him for the win. But up until you and him pulling in January, he had never hit with a flop press. And we've been trying to work on it with him, and he's gotten really strong at it. Like, I can't touch him in a flop press. I'm sure, actually, now that I think about it, nobody at practice can touch him in a flop press. So you did a really good job in regard of just being super, super strong. But
I've
at
also
the time,
gotten very technical. Like I've learned a lot of stuff, a lot of different things. And I did want to say, I'm not taking, because this was talked about earlier. I'm not just like putting this out there. Yeah, he kept doing the same, the flop press, but I don't think that there was anything that he could have changed or did to change the outcome of it because
yeah.
well, you also have to remember I have weight on him. Okay, so let's not take that away from Hunter in any way.
Right.
He
And
willingly
we
took the match
recognize that.
knowing that I had weight on him. So respect to him. He is super strong. But I'm telling you, everybody that was at Armageddon has seen my progression. And
Mm-hmm.
in reality, I was worried. I was super comfortable up until like the week of. And so I work in a stone quarry. So I'm in the heat all day, lifting rocks. The tendon right here, not this, but like you know what I'm talking about right here, was
Yep.
killing me. And then the day before, I was low on money and stuff, so I had to go do hay. And I did like 13 to 1500 bales of hay the night before. And when I got there, dude, I was like very worried because I was not feeling good. I was not feeling strong. I was hurting. I had Zach try to rub it out quick, but when push came to shove, I was still in there. I was still strong. But how I was able to defend that flop press so well, because Bo tries to do that shit. Bo does that a lot. So I've gotten used to catching it and blasting out of it.
Yeah.
But Hunter had to tell. I knew he was going for it every time because in the setup, his wrist was twitching like this. Like he was already trying to, you know what I mean? Like he was already trying to go. I don't know if it was subliminal or he knew, but I knew right then and there because why else would you give your wrist up like
And
that? So I knew
he does have a tell like that. Because like I said, he had never hit previous to that with a flop press. So he felt that was his only option. And I was really hoping he was going to shoulder roll and actually make it wrist to wrist, but he went with flop. And
I don't think it
I don't
really
know
would have
if
mattered.
I don't think, I'm not sure if you remembered, but the first match, the strap loosened considerably. And he was pretty upset about that. And he thought that if the strap would have stayed tight, he would have gotten at least one pin on you. But either way, he
I know what
recognized.
he's talking about because it was super loose. And before, every time I tighten, I said, tighten it. It's still loose. Tighten it. Because training with Zach, that's all we do. You can ask Bryce and you can ask Hunter. When we first got there, he said his only concern was slipping from me. And I said, I will tell you straight up, do not try to go into the straps because I live there. Like,
Yep.
I'm very, very, very versatile and comfortable in it. So, literally because of Zach, that's the only reason. I remember a time when I first started, I hated straps. I hated it. And I just I don't know what happened. Well, I do know. So I
The more
train.
you do it, the better you get at it.
I train all the time. When we practice, I'm the first one to start pulling and the last one to stop. I have very good endurance when it comes to that. I don't know if you're telling the after pool, but I was pulling everybody. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you waxed me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim got me once on the left, and Rich, he got me a couple times on right, but other than that, I was feeling good and I was feeling strong. And that's what I was going to say earlier, how you guys were talking about arm wrestling, helping with weight and stuff like that. And arm wrestling, literally, I told Dave about this on my 98. I don't know, do you remember that, Dave?
Yeah.
I was in a very rough spot when I went to that tournament in Morgantown, and I've lost 50 pounds since then. Man, I'm telling you. But I don't know what happened, but I put in work. And even 2 months ago, when I was at Battle of Antietam, me now would have smashed me at Battle of Antietam 2 months ago. I don't know what happened. I don't know. It just clicked. And
yeah, I'd forgotten that. It's right. I'd forgotten you were in January. I thought Winter Blast was your first one, but
that
Billy,
was my first
Hunter has
one
a comment in the chat.
with training. So if you want to be technical, Armageddon was my first, but my one with training and actually learning a little bit was Winter Blast. But
yeah, Hunter even said in the chat, my top roll writes mid only. Mid. Only chance I had was all a press. So Hunter even knows.
I will thank Bo for that, because that's one thing Bo tries to hit me with every practice is a press. And he even does the flop wrist. And I've just got used to catching it. And when I seen that tail, I didn't even worry about hitting right away. I just worried about lat dragging and separating his connection so he couldn't get behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
So that's really what helped me stop it a lot, because that boy has some horsepower. But I literally just separated so he couldn't get fully behind it, and I pronated out. But yeah, Hunter's strong, but like I said, I have like 50, 60 pounds on him. But like I said, I don't think there was anything that he could have really changed or adjusted to that would have changed the outcome, because I was just I was ready. I was very, very ready.
Yep. Well done, Logan.
Thank you. And like I said, I appreciate the opportunity. That was my first ever super match. It was I didn't want to talk earlier because there were so many people talking over each other, but I love the venue. It was the perfect placement. It was only about 2 hours and 15 from me. My family that lives I'm originally from Ohio, like Canton area.
Yeah, there's a guy messaging me from somewhere saying that he knows you. He's wanting to get into the sport.
Yeah. But literally it was like perfect placement because my family from Ohio came. My family from Maryland could come, and it was super, I don't know, it was well organized. I enjoyed it.
Well, we appreciate you being part of it. Like I said at the event, dude, I love to showcase some great amateurs. You know, it gives people a platform. You know, if that's what East Ohio can do, then that's what I want to do. You know, get the guys' names out there. You know, it's awesome to see people progress in the sport, get better. And the only thing that's going to do that is them being able to shine. You know, if they just stuck in a garage pulling their buddies, you know, they're going to stay the same old puller.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what helped me a lot, is because I go to a lot of events that I can, a lot of tournaments. I won Keystone, semi-pro, both arms. So I like to get out there, and I like to pull, and I really like to compete.
I think it's probably, I'm assuming your teammates have told you to go to pro now.
Oh yeah, we were talking about it before, because the one I placed fourth, I lost to John at the first in Armageddon. And then the only other I did amateur at Winter Blast, walked through both arms. And then it was really that point, there was like 3 or 4 events that I wanted to do semi-pro, but they just threw me into pro, and I was placing second, third, you know what I mean, fourth. And really, yeah, so it's pro's it for me now. Like there's no,
a second and third in pro is way more valuable than a first in semi-pro.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to Jake Colson and Josh Rice. Not a whole lot to talk about there, but
Dude, Jake is stupid strong.
Yeah.
Stupid.
He pretty much just ran through Josh. I was hoping Josh was going to be able to do something, but just wasn't able to make it happen. Jake was just too strong. Was too strong.
Yep.
No, Logan took off. Dang it. Bummer. Oh, man. I don't know if we can really say anything else about that. Anybody in the chat? You guys got anything about Jake Colson and Josh Rice?
Jake was mentioning a potential left-hand super match against Hunter. I do know that because Hunter was Snapchatting me about that. And
Cool.
I told Hunter, I'm like, honestly, I don't know because those two gripped up the night before and Jake acted like he didn't feel Hunter. But if it's a
I know
match,
Jake
it's a match.
wants a match with
John.
what's his name from Wheeling? Yeah, John Winkler.
Yep.
Yeah.
And well, because right now John is number 1 in West Virginia.
Right.
And currently, after I've pulled both John and Jake now. Dude, I personally, and I love John. He's probably the most kind-hearted guy I've ever met.
Yeah.
But, dude, I think Jake's going to run through him, personally, if that match happens.
Possibility for sure. I'd like to see it. How about Jeff Wilkinson and Eric Myers?
Dude, Jeff. He definitely.
Jeff wants a match with Martin.
He wants a match with Martin.
Jeff wants a match with Martin.
Yep, right hand.
See there, I think Martin takes a win just because of strength. But
Jeff, there's also a big weight.
That's
Jeff's
what
not
I mean.
about cutting weight right now.
No, well, he's only got to be walking around 160, 165.
Yeah. And Martin's a good 180, 185. I mean,
well,
right.
Martin had to keep the weight on. He didn't even want to be that heavy. He wanted a 76 match.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's lopsided because when Martin pulled Kevin at dog fights in the after pulls, kind of was beating up on Kevin, and I don't think Jeff could do that to Kevin. So
no,
I think it'd be
well,
a little.
It depends
I
on
don't
if,
think I can do anything with Martin, and I can walk through Jeff. So
it depends on if Jeff gets him outside or not. But even then, Jeff does have a very strong outside lane. So,
well, all I'm saying is Jeff after pulled with Martin, and he said that would be a fun match. He said he thinks that would possibly be a fun match. And
yeah,
I don't care. I don't
agree
care who pulls whoever, man. As long as it's fun and everybody's having a good time, shoot, I'm all about it, baby.
Yep.
I pulled with Martin after
Christian's here.
Yeah, I pulled with Martin afterwards. Hey, he didn't feel he wasn't. I don't think he was sandbagging, but he didn't feel like he normally does either. So, but yeah, like maybe he was sandbagging just to get a match.
I don't know. But so, I mean, Jeff dominant in his match against Eric Myers. Eric was he was cut, man. That boy is cut. There's hardly any fat on that man. Hardly any fat. And so Jeff looked really good, really dominant. Hat off to him. He looked very good.
You think Jeff is ready for a rematch
With who?
with Justice? With Jeff and Justice? Do you think that's ready for a rematch, or is that?
You know what? I thought Jeff was going to call Justice out before dog fights, but he didn't.
That would be a good match.
I don't know. I still think Justice runs through him. Although Jeff has gotten a lot better, I still think Justice is just too technical, especially for the lane that Jeff typically chooses. That's just me, but you guys can argue.
I'd like to see that match at 160.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One,
Yep.
one of these days, I'm going to get up at the crack of dawn on a Sunday, and when Zach's going to have a decent sized practice, and see if Jeff can get over to Zach's because he sometimes does, and I'll bring Eric Myers over.
There you go.
Practice.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah, if Jeff can't stay out of the strap with Justice, it's probably a bad day.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
Tracy, what up, dog?
What up?
How's it going? How's that mustache coming along?
Just got done with practice at Johnny Jarrett's.
Cool. Everybody feeling strong?
Yeah.
Good.
Rumor has it mustaches make you even stronger. So
yeah. Make sure you tell Johnny I'm coming for that right.
Will do.
I know it's not on the level of his
I was
left,
gonna say
but
it's gotta be one for you.
yeah,
Billy.
it's still.
we missed
I'd still, I've talked to Johnny about this. We're fairly close on the right, I think, and I think it'd just be a fun match. And I like Johnny a lot.
You think it's close? I think you'll blow him out the water.
Nah, I don't know. He's strong. Definitely strong. Left hand, he would blow me out. My goodness. Dude, I probably wouldn't even get to engage nothing.
Dude, his left feels like a rock, dude. Like you can't even get any, you try to pronate and you end up in a hook and you can't hook and you're screwed.
Yeah. And everything just goes that way.
Yep.
So I think we're going to attempt to try to make that match happen in the future at some point, just whenever he's available. Okay, so let's move on. Blosser versus Mullet. Who did we have? Oh, man.
Martin definitely showed out.
Yeah.
Martin means all business.
He looks real good.
Yeah, Blosser just didn't look like he knew what he was doing. That's unfortunate, but I'm appreciative of him stepping up to the plate. He had got the win on Martin down in where is that, Morgantown? And that's where the idea come from, because I was looking on the airs and looking at Martin's. So. Yeah, I was looking at Martin's airs and it said Blosser. And I remember Blosser being on my Facebook, so I messaged him and said, hey, would you be interested in a match with Martin?
Which I was shocked that I didn't end up pulling him down there, because I honestly don't remember his name. If I'm not wrong, I know there's one guy that had never pulled in his life down there and ended up doing pretty well in that class. I mean, there's 18 people in that 190 class, and he ended up doing pretty well, but I'm not sure if that was Blosser or not.
I don't know.
Martin's gotten really good with getting the setup he wants and making it very, very uncomfortable for his opponent.
Yeah.
Martin's hand is very good.
Yeah, you can't let him get what he wants, or you're
yeah,
in for
you
a
can
bad
ask
time.
me or Billy. He'll squeeze the hair right off the back of your hand.
Oh, it's so painful.
Yeah.
So painful. I'm like, let me go shave the hair off my hand first before I pull Martin. My goodness. And he's got the Amish hands, so they're all, it's all calloused and everything. It's
all
like
tough.
sandpaper.
Yeah.
Very painful. Very painful. That's why him and Christian probably have good hand battles.
Yep.
Yes, sir. But yeah, Martin looked awesome. That first round, I was like, well, that probably is going to happen round 2 and 3. And I saw Zach trying to coach Joseph, but Joseph just so new that it's just going right over his head at this point. He'll get it though.
Yeah.
Wait until he's about a year in, dude. He's gonna
if you're telling a new guy, hey, flare your pinky out in the setup, they don't know what that means. I know what it means. I understand that, hey, we're trying to get the strap closer to your wrist, and that's why you want to flare your pinky out. But someone like Joseph, who's only been doing it a few months, they don't understand that.
Shit, I don't know what it means.
I don't even know what that means.
You guys need some training? Let me, come to
I'm good at the strap, but I've never heard that.
The East Ohio secrets, man.
Yeah, must be a new technique.
That there is a Zach Lee secret. Basically, flare your pinky out during the strap application so that it automatically gets pulled towards your wrist just
How is
because
it like?
your hand is inverted.
You show me with your hand. Show me with your hand if you can.
So if you're setting up here, the strap is going to want to get pulled across your knuckles. So if you set up pronated, it's going to force the strap to get pulled towards your wrist.
Oh, that's straps 101. That's basic stuff. I just didn't know.
Well,
the
and
terminology.
that's kind of the idea that Blosser didn't really know what he was doing. He was so green to the sport that even with someone like Zach in his corner coaching him, he didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah, I thought you meant like when you're drinking tea and your pinky's out type of way.
No.
No.
Hey, mark my words.
No,
you
it's
guys
like
flip this.
flare your pinky.
Mark my words. In a year, Joseph's going to do well, especially if he stays training with Zach and them. He's going to do well.
Yeah.
He's going to show up, maybe even show up to November and do pretty good. We might have some issues in the 98 class with him. Okay, so let's move on.
I after pulled him. Hold on. Before you move on, I after pulled him, and he looked to me closer to 76.
No, he cut 10 pounds for that match.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he walks around at 98, 200.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So he starved himself Thursday and water cut the rest.
I mean, he did look big under his pump cover, so.
Yeah, he's an aesthetic bodybuilder.
Gotcha.
So he's in shape, very good shape. Okay, Bryce Meadows and Colin Palmer. Unfortunately for Colin, he just didn't have enough horsepower. It's just what it is. After coming back from a broken hand on his left hand, not able to, use that peg hand, it's tough.
I would like to see Bryce versus Brian Vollmer, though. That might be in the works. I was messaging him, so.
That would
I asked Brian about that match, but he had already had a match at
Gus's.
Yeah.
And
I like Brian. Man, I like Brian.
Yeah.
He's such a good dude to talk to. I really like Brian.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Bryce just had too much horsepower.
Yeah.
He did everything. I think he top rolled, he pressed, and he hooked. Just pretty much just did whatever he wanted.
It was pretty much complete dominance, really.
Oh yeah. So best of luck to Colin on trying to get back in shape and get stronger again. He'll get there. Just got to get healed up.
Damn there.
And then Bryce, he's going to do well. Bryce is definitely going to do well. He got a match left-handed with Tim in November. Tim, you still there?
I am, yeah.
Where is that match at?
We have not set a venue or a location yet.
Well, you can do it at ours.
It's up to him. I mean, we had just said November.
You can still just do it at ours November 2nd. Be fine.
And
be fine.
It's impressive for Bryce because
he's only 6 months
correct
in.
me if I'm wrong, but the last time he pulled you, he was only a month in, and he was pretty strong then.
I know, but that was on the right. We had a close match. The left, I kind of blew him out of the water, honestly.
And that's kind of expected for someone that's a month in, but the fact that he's come as far as he has.
I don't think it's going to be that easy this time. Like, I think I'm still a heavy favorite on left arm.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to just sit there and play with him either.
I pulled him left in the after pulls. I'm telling you right now, Tim, he hit the correct angles to beat you. So you got to get that catch. If you get the catch, he's done. And I mean, pretty much count on you getting the catch.
I don't turn it up, to 100% in a practice. No. But he definitely knows what he has to do, for sure.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
He's not just going to sit there and just let me eat him up inside without me working.
No. If he's smart, if you stop him, he's going to lay down.
His elbow up.
He's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Well, Tim, you talk to Bryce. Tell him November 2nd's available if you guys want to do it at ours.
Okay.
We got another great match, Kevin and Alec Guth at 76. That's going to be a great match. That'll happen in November.
They pulled last year in November, didn't they?
Yeah, that was in the brackets.
And Alec got the hit, but Kevin stopped him.
Yeah,
so
it was like
Alec,
that far from the pad.
Is Alec
very
counting
close.
on? Is Alec counting on the hit?
Well, Alec had pulled a tournament the week prior,
Okay.
so he wasn't 100%.
How heavy is Alec?
I don't know how much his percentage was, but obviously Kevin is not one to, shy away from a practice 2 days before an event either.
Yeah.
So who knows where Kevin was either, but
I still
expect
think
that
Kevin
match
will
to
catch
be well.
the hit.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's going to be a battle for sure. That's why I wanted to have the match.
I'm better if I
Give me a
warm
second.
up
I'm
the
gonna
day
go
before
quiet
the
down
practice.
my bike real quick.
What's that, Dave?
I said I'm better if I warm up the day before with a practice. No, I mean it sounds partially as a joke, but I mean seriously, we have seriously considered going to a tournament where somebody on the team is not going to pull, and I just getting on the table with them, not just warm up, but actually do some heavy pulling. Because honestly, I really feel, I don't know if it's the age or whatever, I feel like it takes a while to wake up the muscles or the nerves or something or other. Because I really feel stronger as time goes on, which is weird, but I'm of course weird in different ways as well.
Sorry to get off here, but I have an airport run at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I have to get off.
All right, later, Tim.
Yeah,
later, Tim.
Bryce on that.
Yeah, I asked Tim on the way out when I brought him out how many miles he puts on the car, and he said, "Oh, because he just brought him out to Butler to get his new car." I said, "Oh, about 10,000 a month." Of which maybe 80% is his Uber and Lyft, but 10,000 a month is a nice round figure.
Yeah. Okay, Tucker versus Pergantis, left hand. Tucker got that 3-1, I do believe, right?
Correct. Yeah, he got his hand taken, I think, second round, and it just outside the
Did
strap.
he? I'm curious if he let that happen.
I don't think so. No one, Vince, he would not let that happen. So I think
because he looked pretty dominant.
Yeah,
in all the other rounds, I'm like, I was just curious if
I wasn't perceptive enough to listen.
Dominant, but he still had to work for sure.
Like yeah. Anthony is no slouch, dude. He smokes me left hand, so I know that Anthony is a boost on the left hand.
I thought with the height difference, Vince would have it more outside, and he kind of.
Oh yeah, he definitely took Anthony's hand. I think Anthony would, to be honest with you, I'd like to see him at 76 more so than 98.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the height for 98, and it is what it is. He just doesn't have the hand strength.
And Anthony was advertising that he was super close to 198, was he not?
I don't know. I know that last time he was in November, he only weighed in at like 190.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's
he doesn't walk around at like 215 pounds and cut down or nothing. He's underweight.
No.
He just has fun doing these matches and tournaments and stuff. So he walks in at whatever he walks in at.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him cut, get shredded at 76 and build his hand up like crazy, hand and wrist. Oh yeah.
Does anyone know who Anthony and Alex trains with, or is it just those two brothers going at it?
I think it's just them, and then they go to Jeff's every once in a while, I think. But they need to come over.
I was going to say, they need to find a weekly practice that is going to teach them something.
Well, they work in a factory, I do believe, or a steel mill or something like that, and their job is like super tough.
Okay.
To work around as far as schedule-wise.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, Anthony could be super, super good if he could just get consistently to educational practices. Yep. But I just don't see him doing that right now.
Yeah.
Well, he does what he can, but he lost his
Right.
wrist so much in that match that it disconnected him from anything that really he could
Right.
put the power to.
Yeah.
So if he just does a ton of wrist curls and wrist max, just strengthen up his fingers and wrist, that's just what he got.
Right.
Yeah, I really
He'll
don't
get it. He'll get it.
No, I don't know him well, and I said something to somebody about Perganis having two matches, and they said, no, there's actually two of them. They look similar enough. I said, oh, okay, whatever.
My wife asked me if they were twins. I don't know if they're twins or not.
No, Alex is the younger brother.
Yeah, that's what I told her. Okay, Christian Ashby and Chris Thomas. Yeah, buddy.
I'm glad they picked dogfights rules, because if it was strict, it would have been 10 minutes of setup.
Dude, that would have been nuts. Well, actually, to be honest with you, Christian, he gets a grip and then he doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
I keep my elbow down most of the time.
Elbow down, grip, and then he's behind the knuckle. He's not covering the knuckle or anything. You can see the knuckle, in Christian's grip. So
yeah,
I think a lot of that was just him putting Chris in an uncomfortable hand position right off the bat. Like how tight were you gripping on his hand, Christian?
I had a good grip because, like, when I gripped up at Kilowanis, my hand wasn't feeling very good, and I could tell instantly I was in trouble. And I was not very comfortable. That's why it was quite the fiasco to get a grip. Yeah. But when I gripped up with him here, like, my hand was good, and I could feel instantly. So I just gripped up, got a good grip, and clamped down. And I don't think he liked what he felt.
Yeah.
If it's the same pressure you apply to everyone at practice, I wouldn't like what I feel either, because that push forward post is pretty ridiculous to deal with.
Yeah, it was I felt pretty comfortable. If I was I guess maybe a little more ambitious isn't the word, but if I was a little more trusted myself a little more, I would have gripped a little lower, and it would have probably shortened everything, because I did grip a little higher, and that creates a little bit more of a fight, because you're trying to fight through the hand more. But after round one, I should have just clamped down lower and just pinned him. Like, well, I did on the second round. So, but on the first time, if I would have known, exactly where I was, I would have just gripped a little lower and done the same thing. But it was good. It was a good fight.
That was a nice victory there.
But hey, guys, I got to get off here. I got work in the morning. I still haven't showered. I had to change my oil, do all that.
Oh my goodness.
I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast.
Yep.
I'm definitely looking forward to the next dog fights, whenever it is. But yeah, you guys have a good time. Talk about the matches. I'll be sure to go back and watch them afterwards.
All right. Later,
Catch you later.
See you Thursday.
Peace out.
Yep. Tracy,
right.
I expect to see you next time, Tracy. Where were you?
I've been doing I'm in an EMT school, and I'm graduating my 36-hour fire class. I've been busy with that. So I actually today was my first time back on the table since dog fights.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've just been doing like CrossFit training, trying to get in shape. And
gotcha. Where were you, Gage? Missed you.
I was on FaceTime with Tracy watching it live stream. It's hard to make it out there for 3-4 hour drive from Toledo. And
yeah.
Could have drove down with Vince. Could have rode down right with Vince. He's coming.
Yeah. But he left early.
So
I have to work Saturdays. So.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, so it's like really it depends on what time I get done.
I was supposed to have a match there, but my guy had a heart attack.
Yeah, he did.
And then I ended up having to do my graduation that day for fire school. But yeah, he had a heart attack at practice, and had to get a open heart surgery.
I remember that now. Yeah.
Who was
What
it?
was his name again?
Carl Martin. He pulls
Yeah,
with like
that's right, Carl.
Danny Adkins and all those
Yep.
guys. We
Yeah, he was going to come up with Bryson them.
Yeah, we had
Or
a
no,
really
no, they were at work in Columbus, I do believe.
Well, how
Gotcha.
old is
But
the
either
guy?
way, yeah, let's wish Carl, a good recovery. I'm sure that he's doing okay, but we wish him
he's
the
probably
best.
in his late 40s though, Christian. Late 40s, early 50s.
I gotcha.
He's strong as an ox. We had a good left-handed match at Gus's Summer Bang last year, and that's kind of what sparked everything.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, he said he's doing better last time I talked to him. So,
Okay, so we got Justice Black and Chris Louise.
The only match I care about on the whole entire card.
Why do you got to do that? Why are you going to do that? you see something happen and you're automatically on there putting your fingers to the keyboard.
100%.
Let it just let it come naturally. If it happens, it happens. Don't be. Gee.
Well, because technically it should have been me and Chris first. Technically.
Well, you don't want to call off on a Saturday, so there you go.
That's true. I mean, we were both at Kiwanis, but somebody didn't want to pool.
Yeah.
So I did make the trip.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he didn't cut.
Oh, you could have threw him in there. It wouldn't have made a difference.
No, I don't do that. But Justice looked very good, he was nervous about that match just because of Chris's strength in his hand. But yeah, Justice did what he does, and
and did it quickly without wasting any time.
Exactly. No energy expelled. Well, he obviously, but he used it.
That was one of my predictions I had right. Perfect, actually.
Yeah, and he's the strongest he's been. There's no doubt about that. His hands healing up. It's his arm.
Dude, I cannot let Justice in his sweet spot. Dude, if I let him there, dude, it's a bad time. It hurts.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, I know exactly how to pull him and what we'd pull. Well, we'd pretty much pull for probably an hour at every practice.
Mm-hmm.
Add it up. And I would always end up just giving him kind of the wrist and letting him work. And I can't do that anymore.
No.
He's just too strong.
Yeah, he's a beast. Shout out to Chris Louise. He took the match on 3 weeks' notice. Right after Michigan State, he agreed to the match because Dave backed out. So shout out to Chris.
Yeah,
I really enjoy watching Chris pull too. He's fun to watch.
Was the Dave match supposed to be right-handed also?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you would assume, would the Chris one be a harder match for him, or the Dave? Who's stronger out of Dave?
No, it would have. The Chris match is definitely harder for Justice than the Dave match was going to be. But
I feel like Justice should just stay in the top 7 area and not worry about anybody outside of that because he's getting too good to
it's crazy.
Unless some of the guys come back, but like Robbie would give him a good match.
That'd be a fun match to watch because Robbie's very technical.
I would like that
Justice. I'd like to actually see that match. Maybe at like 60, 65. That'd be a fun match.
I feel like that'd be a good battle, like center table. That'd be a fight.
Oh yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Because Robbie got that big hand. I think Justice got a little bit more arm. Robbie got a little bit bigger of a hand, but Justice's hand is still good. It's a little smaller, but it's still very strong.
Well, David Lee, if David Lee ever actually travels. Because everybody has to at least face David Lee at one time in their life.
I think Justice pulled him and after pulled down in Columbus, and just
okay. Really?
Well, if you mean after that big practice they had with the super matches in Columbus, David Lee was very worn after his
Yeah.
super match because
with Gage.
I was
that was
hitting him
yeah.
with both.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was putting him
about
with
this.
both arms, and I normally wouldn't do that with David Lee, but he was
No.
pretty well trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is very versatile. He went from pulling masters at Michigan State to pulling juniors at dogfights.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations.
Tell Justice whenever
to
he's ready.
Justice.
Yeah.
I'll take the match again. I'll give him a
The match everybody wants to see is you and Drew. That's the match everybody wants to see.
Drew has a match against Elijah, whatever,
Ekstrom.
the number one guy. Yeah, number one guy in Michigan, but just won Michigan State, both classes. So if Drew pulls that off and beats him, I'm not on Drew's level. Then Drew should just call out Otha. You know, that's kind of where me and Drew are. So
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Dude, Otha would have won every right-hand class at Kiwanis, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, he's insane. Insane.
So,
like,
yeah,
whenever I first met Otha, it was like, okay, it was kind of close. Like, him being a small guy he'd still kind of hang out with like a 200-pound guy. But now, right through. Dude, he just rotates right through everybody, dude. So strong. But, yeah, I think we only got one more. Trenton Halstead and Alex Pergantis. So Trenton has been over to East Ohio Arm Wrestling practices a few times, in the last 2-3 months prior to dog fights, and it shows. I'm not saying that
it looked real good.
What he learned with us is why he won, but he's gaining knowledge everywhere that he goes, whether or not it's a Zach Lee practice or it's our practice or something. He's very good at, sucking in the information.
What weight class is he?
He weighs 166 pounds, I think. 163 maybe. Dude, he could cut to 54 and do some damage. He could do some damage in the 54, dude. Give him a year. Give him a year. And if he decides to cut, dude, he would be very good.
I'll be his first match if he wants to cut.
He could easily crack the top 10, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set him with Lawrence. Lawrence actually be a good match for him.
Yeah, Lawrence is a freaking rabid dog.
I'll have to ask him if they after pulled it all, because Lawrence was there. Shout out to Lawrence Bell, man. After pulling everybody and their brother, dude, he was dripping sweat. It was awesome to see.
Yeah,
dude, just pulling everybody. It was great.
Lawrence Bell does have that dog in him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I'd like to see that. That'd be a good one. But
I think I was pulling Logan. I still think, I guess everybody can maybe think I'm crazy, but I still think Hunter could have, well, he probably would have still have lost, like, quite likely, but I found a little bit of a spot with Logan, kind of like a defensive top roll, just kind of coming back out, separating Logan's hand. It slowed him down. It took a couple times to pin, and obviously he had a match and he had been pulling, but like anything else I did other than that, there was nothing there. So I still think if Hunter would have tried to fight a little more defensively, it could have, I don't know, maybe sucked a little bit of the power. You know how it is when you get your hand separated a little bit and you lose all that torque and power. But no, the guy's ridiculous.
Using the same move over and over and then not working. Like, I don't know. He should have at least tried something different.
I tried that he's going to be committing to really training his technique. He's got the power. He just got to learn how to use it.
Well, when you grip up against that guy, I don't blame Hunter for, feeling like he didn't have anything. But that's the thing. Sometimes you feel like you have nothing, but if you try maybe set up properly, act like he said he could read him. He could read the flop. Hunter should have just kind of tricked him in that, and then just came outside into a defensive hook, slammed up at the top of his fingers, and came all the way out, on the negative side, and tried to maybe burn him up a little bit. I mean, I don't know if he could have kept him out of the hook all the way out on his fingers, but Hunter doesn't feel, super good on his right like that. So maybe that's kind of why he didn't go for it. But like when I pull Hunter, it's like his hand's just as good or even better than mine. So I don't know. I still think there's something there, but
no, we'll get him. We'll get him ready. So that is going to pretty much do it. I think the Drew 24 saying that the High Five is having an live stream right now with Sarah Bachman, I do believe. So he's pushing everybody to go over there. So if you guys want, go check that out. So I'd like to see everybody rally behind the High Five and Knuckles Up. I'd like to see that flourish, make arm wrestling in America great again.
Yeah.
Instead of other countries.
All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Have a good night.
Later, Christian.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
So, all right, guys, I appreciate everything. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for coming on the podcast, Tracy. Nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to trim this beard off and keep this mustache and show you guys what a real mustache looks like.
It's looking good.
That sucker flares out so nice, too.
And it's a little bit darker. It would probably take 10 years off your age.
Oh, I guarantee, dude. It does every single time. But without no hair on the top, it's like, for me personally, my face shape, I have no chin. So it's like, I don't know if it would work out really well. You don't have one either?
No.
Oh, geez.
I just have to for the fire department.
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to have a beard.
Yeah.
Bummer.
That thing will catch on fire.
Yeah, but I get to help people, and that's what I care about. So,
amen, brother. Amen, brother. Well, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. That's gonna do it. Dave, as always, thank you for everything you do for the community.
Sam, I enjoy it. Getting more out of it than I'm putting in. Trust me.
Yes, sir. Me too. Gage, thanks for being here. Tracy, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
God bless you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, you too.
See ya.